I haven't watched The Boy and the Harem, unfortunately, but Miyazaki has proven to.
Heron.
Oh,
Not
sorry.
not harem. That's a
the,
very different anime.
the Boy and the Heron.
No,
I haven't watched it yet.
no, no, no.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Nerdgasm podcast.
And I've made a comment on TikTok. We are sober, but I'm telling you, man.
And you can find me on Mr Geek Media. Hashtag Recast the Chala campaign.
Except Jack had to find someone from Africa. He's so plain.
Okay, I'm tebellokhala. Welcome to Nerdgasm. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to an episode of the Nerdgasm podcast with my co-host, Prince. Well, let them introduce themselves. Take it away, Prince Zuko.
I have come to regain my honor. And in doing so, I shall be the rightful heir to the throne. And I will be the Fire Lord. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Prince Zuko, the future king of the Fire Nation.
Isn't it called Fire Lord?
Yeah, but I was in my vibe and I forgot.
Okay.
What up, everybody? It's Zuko, aka the Fire Lord, aka.
It might be better than some of these people in this. I don't know. I'm joking. Go ahead, Mr. Zuko.
What up, everybody? This is Zuko, aka the Fire Lord, aka Prince Zuko, aka Cortezi, aka the tallest short man you've ever met. Welcome to the show. We're about to be talking Avatar, and brace yourself. That's all I'm gonna say.
Whew, okay, and Mr. BuckMeister, take it away.
What is up, everybody in Nerdgasm Land? It's your boy BuckMeister, twice the nice that you are used to. Sharp Blamson. We are going to be checking out this Avatar, and this is going to get interesting. But anyway, please go follow me on Meister Geek Media and BuckMeister Cool Reacts on YouTube. Those are my two YouTube channels. Recast the Chala campaign across all my social medias and everything. Black Panther vs. Kang issue 3 has just dropped on Webtoons, so please go check that out and all of that good stuff. Make sure to read all three. Oh yeah, make sure to read all three of them so you can get the nice, and also you'll see the art get better and better and all of that good stuff. So that's all great. And let's do this. Let's do. Oh,
just so you know, I'm not biased when I say this. Sorry, just so you know, I'm not biased. I literally met him on this podcast, so I don't actually know him. I checked it out. Do check it out.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
A shining endorsement by our colleague.
And the nice thing is you can see improvement. You can actually see it. You see the first one, like, okay. No, oh, okay. Like, why the man is learning. So, I mean, what more can you want? What more?
Thanks, Mr. Zuka. Thank you.
And FYI, if you see me going to the side, I'm eating. I've had a long day. I literally just knocked off work. So
don't worry. Gee, this podcast is so random. If anybody is surprised by anything.
We at khalacorp, we at khalacorp endorse proper nutrition. That is why we will always encourage our friends and family to eat while doing their work.
All right, and Mr. Tebello, you gotta introduce yourself, my man.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, greetings, everyone. Last time, apparently, when I greeted you, I made people question their sexuality, so I'm going to be as polite as possible. So, that being said, hello, I am Tebello, son of Daniel, the co-anchor and host of KC Media. Here at Nerdgasm Podcast, we're gonna go down wild and dirty, speak the truth, get you all ready for the weekend, baby. If you want to have a good time with us, subscribe
Bow,
KC Media.
wow.
At any YouTube outlet near you. Anyway.
Wow. Is it hot in here? Oh my god.
Anyway, the purpose of this meeting is podcast is to have a review of the first episode of The Last Airbender.
Netflix live action. We've already covered the original show. And
We've already covered the original show. We will not touch the M. Night Shyamalan. I don't care how many billions of dollars you can put on the table. I will not sort of.
You know what we should do? We should just probably review it from memory because already that thing was so traumatizing. We can just recall everything. We don't have to watch it again. We just be I have nightmares like airbend, like earthbenders that can't bend earth. 5 guys to throw 1 rock.
All I remember is earthbenders. What are you doing? You have earth right beneath your feet. No.
No, dude, that scene is so hilarious because it's like 6 guys and they're like, and it's like 1 rock. I was like, what?
And it goes in slow motion.
Which could have done a better job being thrown at.
like somebody could have picked up the rock and chucked it at the firebenders much
and it
faster.
would have done more damage.
And it would have done more damage, truly.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
That being said, we are going to discuss the Netflix adaptation. But before that, cue ditaba tsa anime music. Let me see. I've got the rotating chair.
Hey.
Reading. No, stop. Set. And good afternoon. This is Tebello with your Anime News Network. Oh, Ditabasa Anime. Highlighting today, a surprising winner for the BAFTA Animation Awards. And as of this moment in time, there are 1,108 chapters of One Piece. This is tebellokhala, your host, who's going to be your host and anchor today. I have to look like I'm organizing the papers, right? But I'm a professional. Leave me to be. I'm a professional in my make pretend news studio. Oh, goodness me. The internet is down.
Oh, wow. How do you make sure?
How do you make sure?
These detabbing are not detabbing, but fortunately, there's always a backup. I'm going to use the teleprompter. So, okay. Headlines today. 4 days ago, surprising absolutely no one on earth except maybe the people in America, and by that I mean most probably Marvel fans, or Sony Marvel fans. The Boy and the Heron wins Best Animated Film in the BAFTA Awards. Who is surprised by this news? I have no idea. Anyway,
well, across the Spider-Verse fans are raging as we speak.
According to the Anime News Network Online, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded the BAFTA award. Come on, why? Who wrote this article? Sorry, can I just?
Even they are British, even.
They're British and they're breaking their own language. Okay, the British Academy of Film and Television handed out the award for Best Animated Film to Hayao Miyazaka's latest feature film, The Boy and the Heron. Which I don't know I'm not going to pronounce it in Japanese today. My Japanese data has run out for the year. This Sunday. The film was competing against films like Chicken Run.
Chicken Run?
Yep. The Dawn of the Nugget.
In this day and age, Chicken Run?
You know what I mean.
Wait, is it a new Chicken Run? It has to be new.
I guess so. The
Where are they
dawn,
running from? So
the
many
road.
questions.
Sorry.
The dawn of the Nugget, Elemental, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The Boy and the Heron is the first animated film, film to win the award or to be nominated for it since it was introduced back in 2006. Now, ordinarily, I'd refer to our regional film expert, Mr. Extrodin, but he's not in yet, so we shall be able to refer to him as.
Hey, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Ah!
I'm here.
Speak of the devil.
The glass broke. What?
You know, speak of literally as I mentioned
It's
his name.
Goku.
Dynamic
Goku's
entry.
Dynamic bonus points. Anyway, now that he's in studio, I refer to our resident expert, Mr. Extrodin. What are your thoughts of the Boy and the Heron winning a BAFTA award this Sunday?
The Boy and the Harem. Oh my goodness. Which one is that one again?
It is the
Miyazaki film on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that came out late last year, isn't it?
Yeah, I still haven't watched it.
There has been a bit of controversy about that. Well, not necessarily controversy, but there has been a bit of a like some people are not happy about it because some people feel like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse should have won instead.
Mhm.
I haven't watched The Boy and the Harem, unfortunately, but Miyazaki has proven to.
Heron.
Oh, sorry.
Not Harem. That's a very different anime.
The Boy and the Heron.
God.
I haven't watched it yet.
No. Oh God.
So far, Miyazaki has done really some great projects. So I don't know. I think it's probably a good one, but
It's a little bit of geek heresy. No, you know what? I'm gonna save it. Maybe I should save it. I don't know.
did you
I'll save it.
watch it, BuckMeister?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I just if I say it, it's gonna give me away. Next episode of Geek Heresy, you catch me on there.
All I can say is I haven't watched it, but I have a 50% inclination that it could be well deserved because, like I said, if you look at his trajectory, his filmography, Miyazaki has done a lot of great films over the years. So
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it anyway. I'll just kick it out of my Geek Heresy. It's fine. Across the Spider-Verse is overrated. I'm sorry.
Why are you preaching to the choir?
It's
It's
an okay film. Like, it's okay. Like, people said that it was the greatest thing to ever happen. Into the Spider-Verse, I think, is better, one. And two, like, Across the Spider-Verse, a lot of the conflict doesn't actually make sense when you analyze it. Like, Miguel O'Hara's beef with Miles over saving people, and he's comparing that to him actually wrecking a universe. You went somewhere you weren't supposed to go, and that destroyed the universe. It's not the same as trying to save Captain Stacy. And if you want to go to the comic books or the movies of Spider-Man, saving Captain Stacy was simply because Spider-Man didn't have the time to do it. If he did, he would have saved him. That's the difference. And now you have 30,000 Spider-Men and you're just telling them, nah, bros, you guys can't save lives. That's not what? The Peter Parker I know, he'll fight everybody. He'll fight you, he'll fight his mama. You're telling him he can't save somebody. Even if it's somebody that hates him. Now you want to tell, no. Anyway.
Thank you very much for that lovely piece of insight.
He tried. He couldn't.
And then also, well, on to other news. Gentlemen, have you heard that they're trying to push a season 2 of Rings of Power?
Who's going to be watching that?
That is the biggest question.
The first one.
Oh, Mr. Extrodin, you're gracing us with your face. I thought you couldn't.
Well,
Are you
Round.
I'm not at at Arkham Asylum.
We can see that.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is his mental state after watching the first episode.
Unless people cuts this out, I just don't want to get into trouble. But yeah, I'm at Arkham Asylum.
Okay, I will try and cut this part out. Thank
Yeah,
you
because
for
that's
that lovely reminder.
That's the code word for.
Yes, we are waiting for what's the name of the black lady that was played by Suicide Squad.
Amanda Waller.
Yes, we're waiting for Amanda Waller to come bake you out.
Oh, don't hope for that. Do not hope for that.
No.
See Amanda Waller kill yourself.
There she is walking with a suitcase.
If you see Amanda Waller, just kill yourself.
Is
It'll
the
be
worst
better than
person
what she's
to
got
work
planned
for.
for you.
As the worst person to work for. Oh yeah,
Yo.
you're gonna fight Superman and all you have is a pistol. Hey man.
And what a pistol.
Bullet right up your skull. You better obey my orders.
That being said, okay. So I wanted to say, what are your thoughts of the people of them trying to push the second season of Rings of Power, despite its obvious disastrous result?
They probably got too much money invested in it, and they need to try and recoup it, and that's the only way they
invest in
can.
something good then. Invest in other things. Good God.
No, you see, that's the problem. Do you know how much they invested into Rings of Power?
How much?
$1 billion.
Why?
First season.
Are you kidding?
For that appalling first season, $1 billion went down the toilet. So yeah, I can imagine that somebody up there, aka
No, they are.
aka who's the owner of Amazon again?
Bezos.
Yeah,
Bezos.
Bezos is reeling in circles trying to get back his money. He's like he is not gonna he's going to milk this dead corpse with if not to strip it, sell it for biltong, sell its hide, tell us that this hide can grant people immortality, something to make sure he gets some of his money back. Because
wait, how bad was it? I actually haven't watched it.
Oh God, it was atrocious. I have never watched it. I watched the reviews. Look, the moment I saw Galadriel in full battle armor and a sword on her back, I thought this is not for me. I'm not to be all the misogynistic and say no, women are not supposed to be in the battlefield. Women are specifically supposed to be in the battlefield alongside men. That is true. The problem is the way the character was designed and the powers she has and the way the powers translated compared to women on battlefields swinging sword are two totally different characters. And if that character, that's your idea of characterizing Galadriel of all the cast members, and that's the angle you went with, that's what I thought. This isn't really for me. Other people were, and what kills me is the way people were overhyping it in the social medias, and that's when you can see even places like TikTok and YouTube and all the other people can still cellulize the way they were overhyping. Oh wow, this is so great, guys. The reviews, I'll give this
guys, is there any franchise that is like that is so good that it spans more than 4 movies?
I can give you a controversial answer, but yeah, I can give you one. Yeah.
Harry Potter almost makes it. It's just 1 or 2 movies that you just. But on the whole, I think Harry Potter makes it. The original Lord of the Rings.
Those are 3.
Those are 3. Okay, Star Wars has.
I didn't watch the. Star Wars from the first prequels was already a problem.
That's why I'm asking, because I'm like the more Tebello is talking, the more I'm starting to think about all these other IPs. I'm like,
I can give you controversial answers. There is one that's been doing quite well, even though there's some bad apples in between. But there is one.
The MCU,
which is
no. Forget the MCU.
Which is
there's one older than this one. Star Trek. The Star Trek films. If you pay attention,
original
over the generations. Golden gems, even though there's a whole lot of sometimes that messes in between.
Well, I think the thing is, right? The MCU is a good example because phase 1 through 3, that was 10 movies or 11 movies or whatever, and they were relatively successful. Outside of in that phase, good. They had and they were successful, and the lowest common denominator was Thor: The Dark World and Ant-Man 2 or whatever. And even if you watch those movies, they're not unwatchable or whatever.
I can watch Thor: The Dark World.
But after Endgame, I don't know what happened. I don't know, because they just said we don't care anymore about writing. We don't care anymore about the source material. We don't care.
We're gonna make money anyway. People are gonna flood in the screen at the theaters anyway.
I think that's always the biggest problem. I think the BuckMeister, they just get too arrogant and they get too cocky. That thing where people say the thing that got you to where you are now is what will keep you there.
Yeah, it's the
So
same with
if
the
you,
relationship. Like you have to do the things
yeah,
that you did in the beginning to keep the relationship
Or
going.
or non
Otherwise,
exactly.
or non fryer
So
every week. It wasn't just because we were dating, you didn't stop charming me. I want that same commitment. Like 20 years ago, you're still telling me lies. Like, remember, baby, I could take down a bear for you. You,
you know,
you
you
That's
are the moon and the stars.
yeah. If you
it's a
tell me to,
double-edged sword, though, because sometimes you find fans who like you guys keep on doing the same thing. You know what
no.
I
If it
No, no, no.
works, Chief. For
If
example,
it
now, if I'm
works,
playing a
it
fighting game,
works.
if I'm playing a fighting game, a Street Fighter game, and I use Hadouken all the time, you can say, Chief, all you're doing is using Hadouken. Mara, you falling for it.
No,
If your life is going
Guys,
I,
great,
look at
I
the
agree.
Fast series. The Fast series are literally doing the
it's
same
the
thing
same.
exaggerated. They're just doing the same thing exaggerated, and it's
uh,
making them money.
uh,
So
Mm.
you can't say, and as much as we say, like, dude, they had dudes in space in a car, and people watched the next one.
well,
I
uh,
think it was
They drove to
nine.
I
space.
think, but I think you
Fast
guys know
Nine.
what I'm talking about, though, right? I'm sure you've heard such comments before.
we
No,
have heard
here's the thing though, right? With the comic
okay.
book genre, sorry, Tebella, I just want to say, with the comic book genre, ne, if you read those comic books, they do different stuff all the time. They dabble in every type of genre, from sci-fi to horror to adventure,
Yeah,
all of that stuff. So it's just for these writers to respect the material and try to reference it when they're making stuff. I'm not saying
Exactly,
one
and
to one. Just look at it and see, and try build something from there.
foundation, guys, foundation. If you've got foundation, you don't destroy the foundation and then put sand there and build on that. That's what a lot of these guys are doing. They thinking, nah, I'm not gonna use this. I'm a writer. I'm awesome, and I'm gonna make something better. No, you're not. What you're gonna do is adapt that in such a way that it's now movie and not comic. That's
So
all you're gonna do.
I
can we
just
say
want to add
So
two
that?
things.
it's a
Oh,
little bit of ego. It's ego and
Yeah,
pride that just plays into.
I just wanted to add that. Two things. One, I don't know if any of you have read when you're growing up, you've read Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar.
Hmm. I
After
vaguely
Romeo and
remember it.
Juliet, I checked out,
Oh,
man.
you poor thing. It's one of the classics, but it also highlights one of the biggest issues we find, especially the character Caius.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is it Cassius, not Caius? Who the
Yeah,
hell
I
is
think it's
Caius?
Cassius.
Cassius, yeah, the character Cassius, especially the way he's portrayed there, you see one of the underlying problems when it comes to what's perceived to be the majority and what actually is. The loudest voice may not necessarily be the one who's speaking for what most of the people want. So when somebody is complaining that it's nothing new, it's the same old, it's maybe his perspective, but it may not necessarily be what the common denominator is. The example I would give you from this play is like Cassius hated Caesar, but but the populace at that time loved him, and in order for him to manipulate Brutus into thinking that the people hated Caesar as well, he wrote fake letters and threw them over the wall of Brutus's house in different handwritings to convince this man to think, oh, the people are the ones that don't like him.
Jesus, hate as much? Yo,
So
Yo, that
hater
dude went to
age.
hater school.
no,
He,
but
he's the original, right? He started the school.
but that's
Yo,
what you find out. That's what you find in today's market. We have one person who has a channel of 4 million subscribers, and then he badmouths something and says, "There's nothing original anymore. It's the same old, same old. I don't like this." And then the market researchers see that this guy has a following of 4 million people. What they think is 4 million people are agreeing with what this one person is, and you could find that it could be anything but the truth. They could be like saying, "Go off, King," but I don't agree with you. I like my old Star Wars stuff. Or "Go off, King." I like the I like the new lightsaber choreography. I didn't like that old stuff. It was confusing and boring. But because this person with the following he said it, the writers get skewed into writing this
Yeah.
in an effort to cater to the in it saying, "Oh, we heard you guys," when in truth is you're only listening to this one person, instead of just listening to everyone
Like
else.
Rick Rubin said something that I really liked. Well, I mean, I sort of disagree and agree with it in a sense, but like essentially what he was saying is like when you're creating art, it's like writing in your diary.
Ha! I like
He,
him.
he's like I mean, for me, I don't like the whole thing that you need to be in this enclosed space and you need to worry about if people are going to like it or not, or like this is yours and you can't share it. But like what he was saying is that it should be a labor of love first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Like I like making stuff to share with people, but if no one ever likes it, I'm definitely gonna like it. Because if I don't like it, I'll stop
Yeah.
making it.
No,
Like there's no way I'll finish something I don't like.
I
So
agree.
yeah,
I
sorry,
agree
go ahead, Mr.
with what
Extrodin.
you guys are saying. I think, I mean, guys, we've been on this planet for a very long time. I'm sure we also made such comments at one point or another. I'll give you a typical example: the iPhone. I feel like that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's the same thing every year. but the reason I was asking this question to begin with is with Rings of Power. Maybe that's what they had in mind when they were writing. Like, okay, maybe they don't want to give us the same thing, but you are touching something that maybe you shouldn't even touch to begin with. I think that's the
I
problem.
mean, there's that, but the other thing is look at the material, right? Look at Tolkien's books.
Right.
Use the reference and then build from there the backstory that you want to build. So, for example, what the bill is saying about changing Galadriel, if that's not who she was, don't change her.
Right.
Expand on what she was. If Aragorn starts using magic and starts saying, I'm Aragorn the Grey, people are going to be like, dog, what's happening?
Yeah. There are so many things that happened in Rings of Power that don't make sense. That even from a person looking from the outside in, like, guys, how did you manage to watch all these episodes? Why was Gandalf gallivanting in the Second Age? The elves don't the wizards don't enter Middle Earth until mid Third Age. Mid Third Age. That's when you see the Istari walking on Middle Earth. But they don't do that here. We are supposed. Let me not get started. I can see him.
To
But I'm
just
saying-
finish my point about the ego and look at The Witcher. Everybody was saying, the whole fandom was like, no, guys, stick to the story, use the source material. The whole fandom, and that was now to go on Tebello's point. It was just more than one voice. It wasn't one dissenting voice with a large grouping. It was a lot of voices. You had the main actor saying, guys, here's the source material. Let's do it. But because of their ego and I'm a writer, I know better than these peasants. Ego and pride. And
I wanted
now
to
look at it now. I think season 2 of The Witcher, I don't even remember what happened. I just know there was a season 2.
And there's
Season
supposed
3
to
was-
be a season 3. Is there?
Season 3 is out. I watched it. It was okay. It was okay.
I think I've only watched I only watched 0.225 of an episode of The Witcher in total, because all I just saw is Henry Cavill in the bathtub with his thighs and everything. It's like, I want to see that, and I saw that, like, yes, nice. And then
I haven't even watched one.
So look, season 1 was on fire. I loved it. Season 2, it literally, where a season, like, nothing happens, but a lot of things happen. But
so basically, season 2 of Black Butler.
Yeah.
What? I feel like what?
And then season 3 popped. And now, because of their ego and they thinking they know better, those guys didn't want to reference. They hadn't even read the source material, so they didn't even know what they were writing. They were writing about. So that's the ego that come in. That's now with their pride. And now look.
No, this is what's happening with Marvel right now. Like, for example, the guy who wrote Black Panther 1, he was just like, I didn't know how to challenge T'Challa, so I just gave his stuff to other characters or whatever. He was like, this character was too perfect. And it's just like, dog, read. Read. Please.
About that, man.
I saw that. Tebello. I saw that.
All I'm saying is, right, if you don't like something, you can get a job elsewhere. Like, guys, we're in the YouTube age. You can work on something you like. there's no way you're going to starve as a writer in this current age. You can find something. But if you're writing something you don't like for a paycheck, my guy, why?
It's
And okay,
terrible.
fine. Even if you're writing it for a paycheck, do your research. Treat it like
Do
a
your
term
work.
paper.
Yeah,
When
I was
you-
gonna,
when-
I was gonna get there. I was like, what's the hierarchy of these guys? Isn't there someone that's supposed to say, no? We need to spend at least 2-3 months reading the source material. This is not good. This is good. No. Why are you giving character traits of T'Challa to other
Here's the
characters?
thing,
Like,
though.
shouldn't
It
there
will be the whole okay, generally, there's one main writer. He'll
Yes.
write
head-
the skeleton of it, yeah.
Hmm.
And then there'll be maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 5 more writers who'll fill in a couple of things here and there. And then there'll be a producer and a director who will approve it.
Right.
So now the problem becomes when everyone is on the same thought. They're all ego, they're all pride, they're
Right.
all we know better. So
And
the
they
problem
all, like, and they're
isn't
treating it
that
like
there
it's a
isn't
job.
the problem isn't that there isn't a guy who a monitor. The problem is there isn't a monitor who's gonna say, no guys, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't that. That's not the problem. The problem is if the people who are making it are all of the same mind.
Right.
So everyone is just, yeah, we are Marvel, we are making money. Why do we need to read the source material? This guy's got powers, and they'll just have the footnotes,
I want
and
you
they'll
to
say, okay,
highlight.
this guy shoots lasers, and then they'll just put in shoot lasers somewhere in the script. So instead of actually understanding how he shoots lasers, why he shoots lasers, they'll just be like, that's why sometimes you'll watch something and you'll be like, this dude's got cat-like reflexes. Why is he so slow? How this dude's got super hearing. How did he not hear?
How did you manage to
something?
shoot Spider-Man? How did you manage to shoot Spider-Man?
Things like that, look at the Flash. Snark has a cold gun. How does he catch the Flash? He shoots in front of the Flash. He sees where the Flash is and he shoots in front. And because he knows at the speed he goes at, it takes him a while to stop. He doesn't. But in like a Marvel movie, they'll shoot, or they'll shoot directly at the Flash and shoot him. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, they shoot what's his name? In the movie we do not talk about Avengers 2. How did
Quicksilver.
when Ultron managed to kill Quicksilver with bullets?
Yeah, and that's the thing. If Ultron's a computer, so Ultron's a computer. Like, let's look at it. So Ultron could have projected his trajectory and said, if I shoot it there, he might not have enough time to react, and I might be able to get him. So if Quicksilver comes and the bullet is here, and Quicksilver
Excellent
comes
argument
into
if
it.
you are aiming at
No. I'm just saying, like, if and then it hits him, then it makes sense to you because you're thinking Ultron's a computer, so he can think faster. He can do the calculations better than a regular person. Quicksilver's a human, so he was just he didn't, and because it takes so long to stop, he couldn't get out of the way in time. So you can kind of make it make sense to you.
That was
Because even if you
that was going to make us question Iron Man's intellect, because Iron Man could have done the same thing earlier on when they were fighting Quicksilver. So,
Well,
No,
the
but
thing
remember-
is, he's not a computer.
he's not a
Zuko's
computer.
point.
Computer adapts quicker.
okay.
And at the same time, Jarvis was practically offline, so he would not have been able to predict his movement.
No, I'm just saying. To be honest, they killed him because of studio reasons. Because apparently they just didn't want to beef with Fox, which to me is weird. But anyway,
Well, they had an agreement that Quicksilver in the MCU would not be called a mutant, and then that I think the one in Fox was not gonna be. I don't remember, but there was a
no.
deal.
What they did is they killed Scarlet Witch in the Fox universe, so that MCU would have Scarlet Witch and the Fox universe would have Quicksilver. That's what the trade was. Because if you remember, there was that movie where what's this? Magneto was teaming up with Apocalypse or whatever, and there's a little girl.
That's the
Yeah, Age of Apocalypse or something.
yeah, God, that's a terrible movie. Anyway, let's not talk about it.
Anyway, but
Now
I'm just
that's
saying,
another movie we don't talk about.
yeah, no, but I'm just saying, the point is just I feel like people aren't making stuff because they want to, and Hollywood is full of this. And if they're not careful, we have the age of the internet right now. Like, you need to be like, I'm just putting y'all on notice that
You need to
also
already
AI is coming as well, right? And yes, we can debate the ethics of AI all day. All right, whatever. I'm saying that if I'm developing a show, one man, and I have access to AI, and it allows me to do my designs and everything and all of that stuff, and it can help
And
me
the special
fill in
effects,
gaps.
studio level
Yeah.
special effects.
And then it can help me fill in gaps and everything and all of that stuff. Like, let's say I do the work, but then I'm like, all right, I need to touch up here, AI touch up. I need to touch up here, AI touch up, what. And I use it in an ethical manner, per se. I've already cut my budget in half. I've already cut how much stuff I need in half and all of that stuff. And I'm making something I genuinely believe in, and I'm following all of the writing practices. And now I post it on YouTube, and it gets 1 million views. Then I open a Patreon, boom, boom, boom. Or I say donate here, and people who love the show donate, and I get 1 million people who are donating $10 every time I have to drop an episode. I'm good. I don't need you at all. There's nowhere where you can come in and tell me what I'm supposed to do because I own 100% of the process. It's done. Now imagine 10 more people like that start existing, 20 more people like that start existing. And we're
just look at guys like
directly with the fans. You're done. It's over.
No, and you don't even need to get that far. Do you know how successful?
yeah. Look at Haha Davis, Big Jar, El Haj TV. Look at those guys. They literally just those guys are shooting from a phone. They started from shooting from a phone, then they probably got a decent camera now. But everything is just like them. They shoot
the quality.
movie quality. They shoot in like the same house. They shoot in like the same 2 houses. They shoot in the same street for like they have like 5 different series going on. They shoot in the same 2 houses, same 3 houses, same street, and they all shoot and they're all making money. And now they literally don't need to go to Hollywood because they're making enough money to sustain themselves. They're famous enough.
Is RC DC? You remember those guys?
They're famous enough to get gigs and like national gigs, not just I'm a guy from Pretoria, so I'll get Pretoria gigs. Because of the popularity of their stuff, they can go get gigs in Cape Town now. They can go get gigs in Botswana.
Yeah.
They can get
I
gigs
wanted to also highlight. Have you guys
so
watched
just
this?
something simple as that.
Yeah, no. To show you, you don't even need to go as far as to. Well, AI is a good angle and is a good warning, especially for this day and age. I'm just saying that the telltale signs of their own downfall has been evident even back then. Because there was this mini animated series, cheap animation, graphics and everything, but people loved it. And I don't know if you've heard about it. Have you heard this thing called Madness Combat?
Oh, I think I've heard about Madness. It's like stick fighting, right?
It's like stick fighting, but it's a little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
That thing had a cult following.
Oh, okay. I remember I love those things. Oh my soul.
They had episodes that you could watch, but it was before YouTube. It was before it was before digital age. Nerd Magazine used to have episodes of Madness Combat in that discs that you used to buy. Whenever you got a Nerd Magazine, it came with a little disc.
Okay.
Each episode used to be in all those discs, and you put the disc there, and it's like, oh, cool, Madness Combat is out. I think my favorite is Madness Combat 5. But I'm just to show you that it doesn't take much. If the story is good, the passion is there, and the vision is strong enough, anything can be able to hook a market. So for you to have a plethora, you're spoiled for choice when it comes to
something years worth of content.
And then for you to deliberately ignore it because one, you to agree with you, Mr. Zuko, you are a frustrated writer. You had your own dreams that you had whatever, and then it didn't fall through, and now you are trying to impose your vision on someone else's work, and that's what's happening in this. That's the disease you're seeing in this day and age. We don't see. I think the example they had, Peter had when I spoke to him last year, was the Endo series from Star Wars. That thing could have been a spy flick and it would have been just fine. But then just because there's a label of Star Wars,
Yes.
people are like, oh, okay, we are going. So now people are trying to impose that vision on the Star Wars brand because they know that the label Star Wars attracts a certain level of an audience.
And like the other thing is like Star Wars fans, like some Star Wars fans were pissed with Andor. They were like, I hated it because
I haven't watched it.
Like they were saying it's too normal. Like they were like, I can't make the connection between this and Star Wars. Because they didn't even mention Jedi, they didn't mention, like Stormtroopers. They didn't mention the things that make it Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the thing. Like now we're getting into the territory where even if you make something good, it doesn't mean it's going to be successful now because you're divorcing it from its roots.
Yeah.
Like
so I just sent you guys on the chat
on the Pantheon. Yeah, it's our Pantheon.
Yeah.
On our ship.
Sorry.
It's our ship, the Thousand Sunny. Yeah.
I saw this years ago, like 8 years ago, 10 years ago. This was a fan-made Naruto movie. Check it out and let me know what you think.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I know it. Rock Lee versus Naruto. I saw it, dog. You're right.
How far? Now imagine that was 10 years ago. Technology has improved now.
You know, which is another one you guys should
watch. I've seen this Dreamers Fight. Yeah, man.
Which is another one that you guys must watch, and I highly recommend, especially for us action junkies and how to make an action sequence to keep the attention of us ADHD people focused on the fight sequences. Mario Bros. Z.
Oh, I think I've seen some of that. Anyway, I think we're 42 minutes into this, and we have not talked about the Avatar.
I just wanted to say before we get into Avatar, I think this entire conversation is actually relevant to what we're going to talk about right now.
Exactly. That's why I said, no, let's go with it because we are really dropping some nuggets that are very applicable right now.
All right. Okay. So yeah,
first thing I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna start straight up now.
Okay. Hold up.
Let's just.
Yeah. I was about to say. Yeah, that was
the longest news segment ever.
That was our longest Ditabas anime segment.
I don't even think we covered the news. I think we did the news and then we went into a tangent.
We went.
Get a tangent for anime.
Yes.
We should literally call ourselves. We should literally have an anime called The Tangent so that we can just go off.
Yeah.
Just a podcast
I think would have a tangent on the tangent though.
Exactly.
So,
that's why it's called The Tangent. That's why it's called The Tangent.
So long as
because the whole point of it is just tangenting.
Yeah.
Okay. You let me know when I can go in on this.
All right. I think we can. Let's get right into it because. Guys, we just watched episode 1 of the Netflix adaptation of The Last Airbender.
What I'll do is probably after we cover the first episode, I'll just give a mini review, spoiler free or whatever. Or I could do it now if you guys want.
Because I wanted to highlight that we're gonna go up until a certain point. We're gonna go spoiler free, and then from that one we're gonna go into spoiler territory. Okay.
So let me just give an overview of this series.
We'll give an overview. As spoiler free as you can, okay?
All right. So cool? I watched all 8 episodes.
Whoa!
To catch up and all of that stuff.
Get on his level.
And yeah, well, I had some
called
time
us
today.
weak.
Exactly.
You're reviewing trash. I'm tired. Okay, joke. Anyway, like what I was saying is that like. Look, I'm going to say this, and I know how people are going to feel about it, but it is what it is. This is not for fans of the source material. It just isn't. From episode 1 to episode 8, if you are a fan of this source material, there's some of the actors are good.
I'll be back, gents.
Yeah. All right. I think the kid playing Ang, we were judging him when we were doing the trailer. I really think he's doing a good job with the material that he has.
So
I
far,
think
he's the best actor.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of life to him. I think he embodies that whole, like weight and responsibility thing that Aang has in the original series. He's bubbly and everything. He's not depressed all the time. He, as an actor, I feel like he watched the show and enjoyed the show so much that he tried to translate what was in the show into the live action. That's how I feel. When we get to Katara, she does get better. I know first 2 episodes, I'm not going to lie, they are rough with her
Okay,
and her
thank
performance.
God.
But she gets better. She gets better. In my opinion, I don't know. We'll get to episode 4 and maybe people are like Fire Lord Ozai and but yeah, she gets better.
I have so much to say. God, I am holding
Sokka
back.
as well. Rough first episode, but I think the guy gets into it as we go along. What the show is suffering from is just a lack of character development, and you're gonna see it when we get in there. But it's like the actors.
Gee, I wonder why.
But the actors are trying with the things that they have. The guy who's playing Ozai, he's fine and all of that stuff. One of the people I have an issue with, and we'll get into it. He appears in this episode, right? Iroh's in episode 1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Iroh, I don't like how they're handling Iroh, and I feel like
I wonder why.
but anyway, I think overall, right? And some of the action stuff is okay. I think all the action stuff is okay. Nothing really spectacular going on.
Oh, okay, we are gonna differ on that one, but we'll get to that. Oh, we will get to that now.
But yeah, overall, I think through episode 1 through 8, I think the best thing going about this show is that if you like this show, please go watch the original. Like, just go and watch the original after you finish this show. I think there's a lot of moments in here that they managed to capture. The actors have some good chemistry. Some of the dialogue is lifted from the cartoon. Some of the dialogue is original, but like they managed to make it work. But these writers are cramming too many things into the time that they have allotted instead of just trying to let the story unfold. And I think that's where this is going to lose a lot of people and whatever. That's my non-spoiler review. I would give it a C- in terms of a live adaptation. It's not a giant.
That's not bad. That's not a bad rank. That's watchable.
Like it, and if you're comparing this to M. Night Shyamalan, it's A star.
Which is exactly what I foresaw.
Which
is exactly what I foresaw.
It's leagues above Shyamalan.
Which is what I originally said. If you all remember our predictions.
Yeah.
And your score is fulfilling Peter's prophecy, by the way.
Yeah, like you said, it's alright. Like there's people who hate it online. There's people who love it online. It's alright. Like.
What are your spoiler-free thoughts of episode 1, Mr. Zuko?
Now, remember when we did the review, I was like, I'm hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't totally sold, but I wasn't totally thrown in the bin.
Sorry, I gotta knock my score down to a D because they do 2 things that I think, they do 4 things throughout the series that I think are too terrible. Like, I gotta knock it to it. I'm sorry. I wanted to give you C-, but I can't. Like, there's 4 things that you guys do, and I'm like, no.
Okay. So, watching the first episode, the first scene, I was like, okay, this is gonna pop. And then I don't know what happens. It just
it waffles.
I don't know. It just
fizzles.
Like a lot happened, but it felt slow.
It's like it's saying a lot without saying anything at all.
I think the problem is here we are in an age where directors can't direct. Everything has to be, the audience is too spoon-fed. So everything has to be in dialogue. There's no...
there's this one...
There's no like...
No.
There's no moments of where like when they tell Aang he's the last airbender.
Aang,
Aang, I'm American right now.
how dare you? Each time you're gonna say that they're gonna show the old version, boy. No, not him. Not him.
Every time Aang,
There you go.
no, not every time. When he finds out he's the last airbender,
Yeah.
and he finds out that he's basically, but it's not a spoiler. I mean,
Okay,
come
yeah.
on, it's,
Yeah.
Wait. Do they? Oh, right. Because this is the first episode where they do the thing where I'm just like, I have to take points off because that was bad. But anyway.
yeah. So when
going.
they tell him he's the last, I'm sorry, that can't be a spoiler. It literally says Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's not a spoiler.
No. It's remember there's the original content and how it's portrayed is vastly different. So the spoiler territory.
But when we get to the spoiler, I have to bring it up because I was like, no. But anyway, keep going.
So when they tell him that, it feels like a regular moment. It doesn't feel like this dude has lost a lot of stuff. It just felt, oh, I'm the last one. Okay, cool. You know, because there was no, and now I'm speaking from as a film graduate. There was no letting the moment sink.
Yes.
You know where in movies something happens and then there's like no sound, or maybe they'll put a little a sad music in the background, but there'll be like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds of just the character like or something, whatever the reaction is. But there's even if it's just 5 seconds, there's just, you know, there's no that. Everything is I'm Zuko, I'm short, no, bring. So that's why I'm saying like a lot happened in the first episode, but like nothing impacted. That's the one thing. And I really do miss the goofiness.
I said this in the
Sokka's
thing, like,
goofiness is not like Sokka's goofiness is what made him awesome, because remember, he was goofy with good intentions. Here he's serious with good intentions. So now it's just like, okay, cool. But because of his goofiness and his good intentions, it just made him that more likable. Even if you didn't agree with him, you still liked him.
no, like this is the thing. It's missing the sauce. Wabo. It's missing the, and I'll break down exactly why.
But it's next.
Let me give you my thoughts of the episode.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, no, let me just finish. But overall, I did not hate the action. I feel it could have been better. There are sequences where you see the guy does a move, and then he literally waits now for the other guys to retaliate. You know, it's not you caught me as I was about to do my move, and I was too slow, and you caught me. It's literally
They needed some Hong Kong. They needed some Hong Kong.
Yeah.
They needed some Jackie Chan something.
Yeah.
Something. So that's a criticism I have, is also the action. It like, if I'm fighting with Tebello, that action is gonna be awesome. But as soon as BuckMeister comes in now, it starts falling apart. When now I'm fighting Tebello and BuckMeister, now it falls because there'll literally be a scene where you can see BuckMeister is ready to hit me, but he's waiting for me to finish so that I have enough time to react. So like
it's like the throne room fight in The Last Jedi. Like, you can see there's a moment where there's one of the pair of guards is telegraphing and hits absolutely nothing.
No, because, dude, Rebel Moon, my guy, Rebel Moon. Like, there's people in the background like, okay, she just hit him. Wait. And there's another guy who goes like this, and then he goes back. And it's like, hey, what's happening here? What is with this direction?
And that's when you don't, and this is where good choreography comes in. You can see it, even if the dude telegraphs it, but because the timing is so good, And this is where also good editing comes in, where you see like, okay, this is the only shot I have, but this dude is telegraphing, so I need to cut to maybe a close-up of the fist, so that by the time the telegraph is over, then I can cut it back and then you check. And this is where good editing and good choreography comes in. So I feel, in terms of the editing, they could have tried something to, maybe they didn't have enough shots to intercut so that we don't see the.
No, it felt like they didn't have enough stuntmen at some stage. I was just like, are you just having these actors, like, did you train them? Like, was this a Matrix situation? Because I feel like that's
like, I mean, even look at the Matrix scene where Agent I forgot the agent name now.
Smith?
Mr. Anderson. Smith,
Yeah.
Agent Smith. Wow, talk about forgetting the easiest name ever. Where Agent Smith is where Neo is fighting 150 million Agent Smiths.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Why? Because there's just a lot going on and you're not gonna get everything right. It makes sense why there's some
the CGI is crap though, but yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, when we go to Matrix 1 and you see that fight between Agent Smith and Neo and in the train scene before he has to get back to the phone, they actually had the actors do train for the stunts and stuff. Like, there's a whole lot of...
They trained for 6 months. For 6 months.
So I'm just saying, with this... I don't know why they didn't take these actors and, like, you know, do a 6-month camp where everybody is... Because, like, some of the actors can do the stunts, but other ones, like, for example, I like the main kid or whatever, but he doesn't give that nimbleness that Aang had in the cartoon. And I just feel like they missed a little bit of that opportunity. Sorry, Tebello, you can go ahead.
I just want to get to my thoughts of the episode.
Yeah, I'm done.
Spoiler-free part right now. I told you guys from the get-go, I'm not going to like it. I want you guys to pay careful attention to that statement. I went into the thing saying I'm not going to like this show because I loved the original content too much for me to be able to say, oh, okay, I'm going to go with this with an open mind. So bear in mind that. So my bar was already low. And for it being low and even you to catch me off guard and for you to tell me now I should have taken this bar and placed it in the pits of hell itself, it makes me a little bit iffy. Because, let me just run through the things I did enjoy. And this boy's performance was good. There's some scenes where he felt flat in this particular episode, like, why is he talking to himself out loud? I was like, at some point I was like thinking to myself, well, you know, there are places in this country where you'd think you're insane because you're having a full-on conversation with yourself, but it was for the sake of the camera. And the other scenes, the craftiness that they're trying to implement with the Fire Nation, I also liked. I'm trying to find other things I like. Give me a minute.
Wait, this is a non-spoiler, right?
Yeah, this is non-spoiler. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to find it. Give me.
Buddy.
Sorry?
Frozen? Oh,
frozen.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, frozen a bit. Yeah.
Am I frozen now?
Yeah.
Am I frozen now?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
Still.
now you're right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm connecting to my phone because the power's about to go out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What else did I like about the first episode? Zuko looked cute.
The
wrist is there.
They did inject some of the wristbender, but like I think that's part of my problem is that, like, you know, the stuff that they were dropping. You know, the stuff that they were dropping in the promo where they were just like, yeah, we're removing the sexism, we're removing this. And I'm just like, this is why a lot of this stuff is falling flat. Like Katara as an actress, or the Katara actress, she seems so demure in the first episode because they're not having that clash of ideals.
There's no sibling banter.
Like her character, her character it falls flat because they're not giving something to like. Katara is a nice person. Like when we get to the source material, she can be a church mouse. She can be like quiet and empathetic and everything. But the minute you disrespect her, she's not taking that. Now, if they're not having Sokka disrespect her, we can't see that, that fiery, like, no, you're not going to tell me that I must just sit in the kitchen and and when I'm pregnant, I must just sit on my feet and kick my feet up. You're not going to tell me I can't be out here fighting with these people. And like, Sokka's not having that issue. And he's not, they're not having this clash of ideals. Now they're trying to transfer their banter to bending, but it doesn't work. It doesn't
to highlight what you're saying. One of the pivotal scenes that makes the Avatar kick off is the relationship between Sokka and Katara. Because if you look at the original source material, because I'm not spoiling, everybody's watched. If you haven't watched the original, the last Airbender, I don't know. I can't protect you from myself. Okay. But if you look at the original source material, Kitara was they're both gone fishing. Kitara managed to lift the fish out with the water bending, and it's like trying to get a brother to notice, like any younger sibling, like, see what I've done. And the brother's like, oh, whatever, because this child is making a noise. And that banter makes Kitara so angry that she triggers this big water spurt, and then it brings up the biggest iceberg.
And guess what? Like that moment, it does at least 4 things.
Yes.
4 things. 1, it shows the potential of Katara as a waterbender. 2, it shows that Sokka's how he feels conflicted about waterbending and how she's challenging his idea of what a woman is supposed to be, except he denies it. And then it also logically shows us how they get to the iceberg in the first place. That's like 3 seconds of animation, and they managed to do 4 things with that 3 seconds, all because of that banter.
So now I want to.
okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, now that you're back, Mr. Extrodin, what are your spoiler-free thoughts? Because you're the only one who hasn't spoken.
Well,
Just keep going. I'm going to be back just now.
Okay.
For me, almost everybody in this first episode felt flat, if not everybody. Like,
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
And it was hard to watch. Zuko for me is the weakest link in this first episode. I felt nothing for this guy. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The pacing was off, and it was unbalanced. Some scenes were too slow. Some scenes were way too quick. Like the last part of this felt rushed, because for me, I was not convinced that someone who's tasked to take care of his homeland would just make such a big decision and decide to just leave like that, So for me, it's like, if you've watched the animation, you know what's going to happen. But if you're new and you're watching this for the first time, I don't think you would feel anything for anybody.
Yeah, that is true.
I think the only person that you feel sorry for is probably the first guy who was trying to okay, spoiler territory. No, let me not spoil it. But there's only one person that I felt sorry for in the first episode. Everybody else I didn't feel sorry for. I didn't care for them or anything. So, because was it BuckMeister was saying that? Oh no, I think it was Zuko was saying that after the revelation that Aang gets about his current situation, you feel he doesn't show any emotion about his current situation.
Yeah, unlike
I think it's the editing that screws him. I think the actor tries to do something, but the way it's cut, you don't get a chance to sit with the information. And it's also revealed in a way that's horrible. Like, it's one of the things that I hated about this episode.
Unlike the first the first one, the original context, Aang full-on goes into denial.
Yeah.
Which is something we should have expected. Like,
And he's
Let's
a
have-
kid. Remember, he's 12.
He's a kid. He's 12.
But I'm saying, like, this is where, like, okay, I don't know when we're getting to spoilers. But
Yeah, we're about to.
we'd have to get into spoilers.
Yeah, I'm about to. We're about to. Oh,
There goes my power.
okay, let's hurry it along. I just wanted to highlight.
Oh, I am BuckMeister. I have come to haunt you. Ooh.
There's always the clown in the classroom. Oh my god! After
You know, I'm sure that joke was amazing, but I glitched, so
Oh wow!
I'll
Okay.
catch it on the replay.
Okay.
No, I was just saying, because you put the light on, now you look like a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we are not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Oh,
I have to actively say that we are not sponsored by Coca-Cola. Né? Thank you.
That's why we have just clear glass.
I'm just joking. Anyway, just wanted to I wanted to add. Anne goes into denial in the original content, and wants to explore the world. He said he wants to go have fun. He ends up once again. He's the one who encourages Kitaro to go explore this big ass ugly ship, and that's what lands them into trouble. So that's the original.
Because
content.
they're all telling him, don't do it. They're all
Yeah.
telling him this is a problem.
And I was like, just be a kid. And only then does he realize the consequences of his mistakes, and then you just see his journey. Even in episode 1, we see a child. We see a child mess up. We see a child that needs to learn how to grow up quickly and man up and protect the village. Because yeah, sure, he could have taken on the firebenders by himself at that point, but he saw that the collateral is threatening this kid and the little kids in that village.
He's so
like,
cute.
okay, and then it's like, okay, you know what? If I stop fighting and I surrender myself, you'll leave this village alone. And then the main bad guy, and then that's also for sure in the type of character this actual bad guy is supposed to be. He says, no, fine, then we'll leave them alone. Something that these little snippets that you see this is the beginning episode of an animated series, and you're seeing different types of characters and how they actually are, and their new natures. We don't get to see that here because the pacing's off. They've taken the acting direction in a way that I've never imagined. They made characters communicate that never communicated at all in the first episode, which made my blood boil. Anyway, you know what?
I think let's go into spoilers, guys.
Attention viewer, we are now about to enter spoiler territory. If you've not watched episode 1 of the Netflix adaptation of Avatar The Last Airbender, please fast forward now. The countdown shall begin in 3, 2, 1, and...
Guys, let me tell you. Guys. Okay. I don't know where Zuko is, but let me tell you, what I have. The first 20 minutes, and I was so furious, I almost threw my phone into the ocean. Because from Pretoria, yes. How dare you? How dare you make the Fire Nation so damn weak? Are you telling me that's all the Sources Comic gave? Those are all the benefits that the Sources Comic gave you? I mean, when you watch the original content, the Sources Comic made the Firebenders seem unstoppable. And now you make them look like what? What? The Airbenders never should have had a flipping chance if the Sources Comic had powered them. Why were they so weak? Why were my firebenders so weak? Well, it's like this thing was written by a firebending apologist. I swear to God, this is just propaganda, trying to make them look like the good guys. I don't care. I deep down inside know I'm a firebender in heart, and I know that I accept the atrocities that were done in that nation, and you're trying to be better. So don't fluff it up by making the firebenders so weak, even under the effects of the damn comet.
But also, I feel like some of the dialogue for me was just so off. Are you telling me that if there's an invasion, brothers and sisters, we are being invaded? Nobody speaks like that when they're panicking. Nobody. Nobody.
That made me laugh a lot. I'm not gonna lie. When he said that, I almost burst out laughing.
How about? Okay, the
There-
whole.
there's-
And
there's-
to
Okay,
Tebello's
let's
point
be
about
fair.
that, this is what happens when people are afraid of being cancelled. They so safe that nothing hits, nothing lands. So because you're afraid of being cancelled, you're afraid of people saying this and saying that, and you're afraid of saying, "Oh no, this show is too woke. This show is not whatever." You don't actually do your proper job. Here's the thing. We all know the Fire Nation are the bad guys, so let them be bad guys. We all know that the Fire Nation, the reason they're attacking on this time is because they're going to be superpowered. Let them be superpowered. Yes, I know you want to show that the airbenders are dope and shit. And yeah, they were dope. I'm not going to front. However, if we are 150 pounds and we are same skilled. We've both trained for a year in the same discipline, and we both at the same talent level. And then today is my birthday, meaning now I get a 10-pound upgrade. I get 6 more months training experience, and my talent goes up to by another 10 points. Then I should be whooping your ass. It's just that simple. It's not a case of now.
It's a bad.
It should have been a massacre. It should have been a massacre.
It should have
Yeah,
been
they should have given us reason to fear the Fire Nation.
and hate
But-
the Fire Nation.
Exactly, and instead it just looks like guys going to war.
I was so angry. You have no idea. I think I messaged you guys like, "Wow," and then
was that
you
when
guys
you
like,
mentioned that?
and then
Okay.
someone's like, "Save it for the chat." I was like, "I don't know how I'm going to last." I think I put up posters. I became Drogon screaming at the top of his lungs because I could not handle just how they mismanaged such a pivotal moment and just how they actively chose to depower the.
I mean, they didn't even make the sky on fire, and it's just like I feel like if you're going to reference the comet, there should be a comet through the sky or something.
It was like this.
Exactly.
There's a little
Actually, now
dot
that you
there.
mention it, I didn't even see a comment. I didn't
It
even
was
see
there.
a frozen comment. I don't
No,
remember it.
they don't show it. They just say
They
it's there.
do. They
Wait,
do.
well, I think you're the only one that saw it, dog.
I was the only one who saw it.
And
When Anne
that-
was busy talking
that
to
then-
Alba, and it's like, oh, okay, I need to go now, blah blah blah. If you look up at the sky, you just see there behind the buildings in the sky. It's that small. It's
The dialogue,
that
the
small.
dialogue.
Wait! I thought that was like just a Fire Nation like cannon or something.
That was the damn comet.
Which just solidifies your point in that I think the problem is now, because of cancel culture, a lot of stuff is very timid. Like no one is now, and they'll be hard on who you can be hard on. You can be hard on Nazis. You can be hard on the KKK. You can be hard on criminals or whatever. But when now you need to make a movie about someone being hard on something, if it doesn't fall under the acceptable people that you can be mean to, now you gotta kind of like.
No, if that's the case, then they should have stuck with the original source material and kept that whole Sozen scene out. The fact that why did they have to put that scene in the first place, I have no idea. Number
I
one,
think
because
they just wanted
No, I
to.
mean, look, I respect the fact that they were like, no, the Fire Nation needed the comet to handle the airbenders. I don't know if they needed that so much, but like I respect the idea that they were saying the airbenders are that powerful that we were not going to stand a chance without the comet. The problem is that they didn't show the devastation capability of the comet.
yeah,
Like when Sozen's comet is there, like firebenders, like they're all supposed to be like walking nukes. So this idea that they were
Exactly.
just yeah.
I just wanted to highlight another point. The reason why I said that this scene was not necessary in the first place, if you look at the original source material, it wasn't there. This
No,
whole
they didn't explain how the Fire Nation did what they did to the airbenders.
we get literally like 3 to 4 seconds of Susan explaining it in his memoirs in book 3. We even see how they the air temples bent to a crisp in the sky, all that horrible fire and everything from a distance, we can see that's a massacre happening thanks to the power of this thing. But and you can see that even then, Sozin was paranoid looking for the last airbender. What I'm trying to communicate, maybe what I'm trying to explain my frustration is that if you want to show something that devastating, go all in.
No, true, but I'm saying also, at the same time, I
Mm.
think just the way they did the choreography and the way that they were having the firebenders, it felt like they were just regular firebenders.
That's my biggest issue. What's the point of that comic then? And then we'll go into the graphics later. I think one of the biggest things that hurts this series is the CGI is appalling. It's better than M Night Shyamalan, and that's what people are gonna give it there. Oh wow, it's so nice. But truth be told, look at it compared to the original content. The CGI sucks, my guy. I'm sorry.
Sorry, the tattoo in itself looks like a Lucky Pocket sticker that has just been put on that you can wipe off.
Okay, let's say some nice things. I'll say some nice things. I think the actor for Gyatso and Aang, I think their interactions are pretty solid. I think they have like a pretty good banter between the two of them and everything. And you do feel like they've put a lot more into, and like, no, I don't think they put a lot more into Gyatso, because we get a lot of Gyatso in the original source material, but they have like expanded upon their relationship. But like, to Zuko's point, they took the teeth out of the monks. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I wanted to also highlight
But the goofy side of Gyatso was not there at all.
No, they get a reference to it. But later.
The thing is, here's the thing. The problem is we've watched the original, so we know it's goofy side and serious side and serious side, but and that's what makes the serious side so impactful. This one, no goof or goofy side and then serious side all the time. So it doesn't hit.
It doesn't hit. I'm
doesn't
sorry.
hit because if I'm telling Tebello, if Tebello tells me like, Zuko, you're gonna die, and that's all he's telling me, like, I'm gonna be like, hey, whatever, dog, I'm dying. But if me and Tebello are laughing and like, and then like lady's like, hey, brah, bad news, that's gonna hit me because I thought everything was all good. But because now you're telling me that I'm dying all the time, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm dying. So it doesn't hit. And that's the reason. That's the reason why them saying they're gonna leave the goofiness is actually messing them up, because all they have is serious. So there's no. So you understand the whole thing is serious, but it doesn't impact you because from the beginning you knew it was serious. Like you knew it was serious.
Yeah.
And like it's that thing where like oh man, we like. And when someone tells you like this is serious, you're like, yeah, this is serious, and then something happens, and then you're like, oh, yeah, this is serious. So there's no.
Yeah, but I think like that's what I'm saying is that they took the teeth out of the monks a little bit, because when we get to that scene with Gyatso and the monks, Gyatso is doing what Gyatso did in the original source material, which I appreciated, but the monks are all way too chill about it.
And why is the Grand Monk this young man?
Yeah, Gyatso was way older than him. I'm just like, bro, how are you the Grand Master Monk?
I was
like, bro, you look like you should be in a GQ magazine. What's happening here?
I was waiting for there's like the Council of Elders is like someone to also highlight the fact that I know you grew up with Roku. That's why you're feeling very protective of Aang, because you're basically seeing your old friend in him. So will that really be beneficial for you as a master? He needs to become a better airbender. Time's running out. Both sides of the argument should have been heard and be made valid. Like, these aren't usual.
No, but I'm saying, like, I think the thing is with the source material, what helped, right, is that they weren't talking about like Roku. They were just talking about the Fire Nation is coming. We don't have time. And I feel like those guys, they represented the sense that even if you're an airbender, it doesn't mean you're above arrogance. It doesn't mean you're above panic. It doesn't mean you're above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to have these monks just be like, Aang must just go. It's just like, no, you're missing the point. They need to be panicking. They need to be pressuring. They need to be on Aang's case. Like, that's
And that's what
made
makes
him-
Aang. That's what makes Aang run away.
Yes.
So
Because
he just. So now it just felt like he just ran away because he was like,
not even
I give
ran
up.
away. He was just like, I need to go sort my head out in the
Get
clouds.
some air.
Yeah.
And then like it's like the universe said you have to be in this iceberg instead of Aang making a decision, which I think is that's what I'm talking about. They taking a lot of teeth out of this thing.
That's all. Like some of the dialogue, man, for me just felt so weak and flat. Like it just felt like what Buckmaster just said now. Like it's like things should happen like this. That's why we are taking the story there. But
you
when you
literally
look at
feel
it,
like
there's no emotion to any of these decisions that were made.
there's no feeling,
No way.
there's no weight. I wanted to add something very important that you just highlighted, Buckmeister, about the you know when you feel like you're in a the word I'll say it is, I did not get immersed in this world.
Ah,
And and it's not because I have prior experiences in other worlds, is that I want to go into this world and feel it. The moments that I saw it, like, Sozin would be cunning enough to say, okay, we managed to trick the Earthbenders into thinking that you're going to attack them first, but you're not going to do that. That's stupid. You're going to attack the No Man's first. That sounds like an evil, maniacal supervillain move to do. But it's also what any tactful general would do, misinform and redirect.
that was good.
Hmm?
That was good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that's what
But
managed to
even the way they did it still fell flat. I think Tebello's point is that when they reveal that, yes, we wanted you to get that scroll so that the other nations are on alert, but they're on alert at the wrong place because we're actually going somewhere else. It just felt like
yeah.
like there was no, you didn't feel any like, my plan has succeeded, I have tricked you. It just felt like, my plan has succeeded.
And then I also wanted to explain. I wanted to get the look from all the other five benches when Susan said, "Okay, we need to go stop the we need to go stop the avatars. Like, we don't know who's going to be the avatar. That's why we need to kill them all." And then I wanted for just someone in the room to like, excuse me, what? Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no sitting. Like, that was such a dramatic statement to make. Like, we're gonna kill all the airbenders and like nothing. Like, there's no little that when a villain says a dramatic scene.
This is like where the show I think is running into an issue, especially this live action adaptation. For everybody who's about to say, "Oh, you guys just want the source material," no. We know the source material. We don't want the source material. What we want
We know
here
it's
is
not
we
going
want
to
to
be
get
like
some,
the source material.
Yes. What we want here is we want to get at least some sort of narrative structure to what we're talking about. Because if we're looking to what this thing is doing here, yes, they want to peel back the curtain on the Fire Nation. They want to show us more of the Fire Nation because the source material didn't sit with the Fire Nation like that. Okay? Not a bad idea. But if you're not having people in the Fire Nation react to this information in a way somewhere some Fire Nation members are disagreeing or something, right? Okay, just keep going, gents. I think somebody's calling me. I'll come back to finish my point just now.
okay. While that's going on, I just want to.
I forgot to put on the mute.
Yeah.
No comment.
So just to finish, what I think he was trying to say is we don't get the jeopardy. That's the word I was looking for, jeopardy. The jeopardy is missing because we all know the Fire Nation thinks they're all grand and everything. Okay, we know. However, even they know like killing all the airbenders is crazy business. But there's no reaction. There's no like, what? We really going there? Okay, we Fire Nation. Let's do that. Like there's
there's
nothing like.
one person is like, I bet, yes, Your Majesty. That's all I saw. Not even, I would have liked to have at least the which is something they could have gone through. Maybe this I'm going into suggestion territory, and I understand fully why if it won't take anyone with me. The reason why World War II Japan was such a big problem was that everyone in the nation believed in their own in that nation's superiority. And what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
from a
Imperial
patriotic standpoint.
Yeah, Imperial Japan thought of itself as the ish, and they have a right to rule the world because they are literally God's chosen people, etc., etc. I may be confusing ideologies with the Nazis, but at that point, I'm just trying to show
Well, I
we have
mean,
an idol.
is it that
Or
confusing?
Zionists.
No, I'm saying like, for example, even China with the dynasty of China and everything, they
Yeah.
had the same. So
Yeah. I'm basically colorating or whatever that word is. My English is run out.
Mm.
Right. Yeah, I'm pulling comparison
Friday
between the
English is low.
the original source material because you can't tell me if you look at the map of the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe and then you look at the behavior of the Fire Nation, you will not compare the Fire Nation with the Imperial Japan. There is no way you can tell me that's not the case. And the way the Imperial Japan structured is they had a continuous belief that they are the superior nation. They are the superior people, not even just nation. And we don't I don't okay, well, this episode one, I don't see if they're gonna communicate that later on. Don't tell me BuckMeister, I'll find out for myself. uh, your face is telling me things, but I don't see it communicated that well. Zuko's performance, and just to side Zuko's performance in this episode is appalling. I'm sorry.
Stop, bro.
I thought he was like one of the better actors in
Oh
this. Jesus.
God.
No, I think he got his anger was on point, but remember Zuko also had the shame and of being banished. That wasn't portrayed. He just portrayed the anger.
Well,
I
anyway,
think
getting
that's
back to my point
There's
though,
something that I
just
wanted to
just
say,
before
James.
I
I
have
want
to.
to say this
Okay,
for
go ahead.
Gyatso and Iroh for me feel like they're way too preachy for this show, and to the characters they're supposed to mentor. It's like they're just making sure that it's like they're talking to them, they're not talking with them. That's the impression that I'm getting. Yes, we're not going to talk about episode 2 yet, but I saw just a bit of episode 2. I'm like, there's no way this interaction that's happening right now should happen like this right now at this point in time in the story.
Oh,
You know,
guys, am I the
Well,
only
anyway,
one?
just
Okay,
getting
yeah.
back to
Finish your point.
sorry,
Sorry.
just getting back to when I was talking about not Azulon, it was Sozin and the fire room and everything. Like the thing is, right, is that one of the things that this show misses is it misses to show that if they were going to peel behind the curtain, let us see everything. So let us see some of the soldiers who are confused by Sozin's order. Let us see like guys in the background. It doesn't have to be long, just 2-3 seconds. Let us see guys in the background looking at each other like, did you just hear what he said? Like, we're gonna kill all the airbenders? Like, maybe there's a dude in there who was a homie with the airbender and he's like, that I gotta like this is this. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna start showing the nation in reverse, if they want to start book 3ing us in book 1, you gotta go all the way.
Yeah.
And you're not going all the way. And it starts to make other performances look flat. Like Sozin comes off generic because we're not seeing the people react to what he's saying.
That's what I was saying.
And the fact that you had to go out of your way to make Sozin to be the one who killed Gyatso was something that for me is incredibly stupid.
it was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary. It's just for flavor texting, I guess. I don't know why. And then
And also, no, but I mean, look, I get that they wanted to maybe respect Gyatso, but I'm just like, it would have been more respectful if he just wiped out swaths of firebenders.
Yeah, I was about to get
instead
to
of
that.
it just being like 3-4 guys.
In the original series, there are Fire Nation skeletons around him. He didn't beat them; he took them out. And here we just see, and then with the other thing that I also have issues with, the location doesn't make sense. You're gonna tell me that the skeleton that stayed there in the middle of that room, um, uh, uh, rotted away and
Teleported
died.
outside.
Rotted away and died in that room, and the body didn't disintegrate because of reasons. The way it's explained in the way it's inferred rather in the original Last Airbender is that people don't know this, but snow and ice is a preservative. People rot slower under a whole lot of snow than than in normal conditions. In a normal condition, trust me, there wouldn't be even bones. After 100 years, trust me, you're gone.
Right.
So the thing we get to see is that there's a lot of ice. Things have washed over, and it show the one thing that needed to be characterized, like because of all that ice. That's why you can still see that there are some skeletons here, left, right, and center, because the ice acted as a quote unquote preservative. But once again, it's just for the views. It's just for the clicks. It's just for people to say, "Oh, okay, let's like this the bingo card for people to take off." Monkey has a skeleton.
No, but like this is where we start clashing at the show, and that's why I have to knock off some points. Like I don't know if you guys got to it, but we have to talk about when Aang does show up in the water tribe or whatever. And I think
Yeah.
the thing is, right, if you're doing the writing, like if you're writing and you need to take bits and pieces of an episode to string together a narrative, the very first thing you should not do is try to rush over certain events, and then like those events are things that fans know, but you're just like, we're telling the story because you guys know it. Now we're just putting it in live action and you'll fill in the gaps. They do a lot of that in there, and
Yes.
that's where I'm just like, as much as I can say you're better than Shyamalan, you're making the same mistake Shyamalan made. Like I don't know why you're doing that.
You guys have more time. Shyamalan had like what, 2 hours? You guys have like
8 hours.
time.
So-
And that's given that they were given more time. If you were to respect the original source material, you'd have spent months and months working on your action choreography. The action choreography here doesn't tell me this is a thing that you put your heart and soul into to create. The action falls flat. If you're going to say we're going to rely on the action and the CGI to compensate for it being better than M. Night Shyamalan's or the original content, it falls flat. If you're going to tell me that the
it's better
acting
than Shyamalan's. It's better
It
than
is.
Shyamalan's choreography.
It is, but it still
I could
falls
throw a
flat.
stone and that would be better than Shyamalan.
Yeah, true.
I'm
that.
just saying, like, if anybody's counter is that it's better than Shyamalan, sure. But I think the issue is, like, for example, when we get to the river village and Gran gets up and starts saying earth, water.
No, I was like, what
no,
the? No.
no,
I could almost see the original Benders doing the thing. Water.
no.
You know what
I was
this
just like,
episode felt?
I
You know what
see
this
what you're
episode
doing.
Oh, you know what?
felt
You
like?
know what? I just realized now when you say that, it's their voices. They were all
No,
almost
it's
at the
not.
same tone. No.
No, they are.
Listen. Let me finish. It's the voices were almost at the same tone. There was like no emotion in the voices. It was like they were literally just reading it. That also doesn't help with the acting.
Yeah, but I'm saying what makes it worse is that you're telling us instead of showing us. They're
Yeah.
doing character development through exposition, which is one of the worst ways to develop a character.
Yeah.
It's one of the
The number of soliloquies that Aang makes, you're like, you could have just shown this. The way that
Why are
he's
you talking to yourself?
like,
that's one. But I'm saying
was-
it's specifically bad with Gran because this is why you didn't feel anything for Aang. This is why, because they rush past his development with Gran soliloquy.
And at the same time, you know, one of the important things you see with when Aang comes out of the iceberg and then he passes out, and in the original context, we get to see Appa immediately, and Appa is also tired. He ain't going to fly anywhere. So you know, they managed to walk him back to the village. We don't get to see Appa being Appa. We don't get to see
Oh yeah, okay. Should we get to the end of that episode because I need to get to the end of the episode one because one of the most biggest thing that pissed me off ever.
Can I just say something about that quickly?
Yes.
I felt nothing about Aang's anger there. I didn't feel like he was mourning Gyatso whatsoever. Like there was no, dude, like not even an ounce.
Gents, I'm just gonna switch to my phone. I'm gonna switch to my.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I didn't
Not helping right now.
didn't have an ounce of sympathy for Aang there because I didn't feel that he was feeling it.
Yeah, you didn't get to see the grief, the shock rather, not even the grief. There's a shock element. Imagine walking up to finding the corpse of your parent murdered.
No, I'm saying it can't. It couldn't have worked.
That Shyamalan version there was way better than that. That specific scene, M. Night did a better job there.
Gasp.
Nope.
I haven't
Oh
seen.
no, he definitely
I
did.
don't remember it.
We have an echo.
Just a second.
You and your Kakeba no Jitsus.
You have gone back to your phone. You're supposed to. Didn't you switch to your laptop? Anyway, let's leave it.
I'm switching to my phone. I think I sound smoother, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just I can't do the visuals. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, right? Again, I don't think Shyamalan did it better. I really don't. I think because also the direction he gave to the actor. You could say he was more faithful to the source material in that moment, but the direction was just, But anyway, getting back to this, the problem with this is that's why Grand Soliloquy sucks. Because it sucks the juice out of all of that moment.
It not only does it suck the juice.
Supposed to realize what happened. Like, remember, when in the original source material, he goes to the boat, he finds the boat, and that's when he finds out about the 100 years of war, right? Now, nobody has the heart to tell him that he's the last airbender.
No, not even at that point. It's like they have never seen an airbender. Nobody says that.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, as the episode goes on, Katara and Sokka put 2 and 2 together, and it's hard for them to tell him that he's the last one.
No, but they say that he's the first one they've ever seen. He decides he's gonna go to the air temple to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm saying that's why. But I'm saying, remember though, in the source material, there's also this whole thing of we can't tell him, like.
That's what happens in the later part of that episode. But at the beginning, Katara is trying to warn him, like, my guy, don't get your expectations too high up. We haven't seen airbenders in a while. And like Aang's like still in Delulu land is like, no army can reach our temples. The only way you can get up to our temples are through Sky Bison. So we are safe, guys, blah, 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 blah. And then later on you see that the Fire Nation managed to get through because of hacks. So but in the first episode, they don't hold back to the fact that they haven't seen an airbender in 100 years. Or rather, they haven't seen an airbender at all, because they can't say, I haven't seen an airbender in 100 years. None of the characters alive then were alive 100 years ago. Not even Grand, for as much as people are trying to say she wasn't.
Grand maybe like 80 though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's the thing that makes her soliloquy suck, is that when they were gonna do it, I literally shouted at the screen because there's no point. The impact is lost. You've already done the payoff for this moment, because he runs off after Grand is like he's the last airbender, and it was just like, why did you do that?
Could they at least have gone with the original opening?
Also, if you're gonna do that scene, then also say, because he's the last airbender, that means he's the Avatar. Because then when they say no, he's the Avatar, it kind of loses the source. Because I was like, okay.
But I'm saying all of that. No, just all of it. Don't touch it. Just let the stuff reveal itself.
Even like in the source material, it gets revealed when Zuko attacks the village. This boy is the Avatar, and then Katara asks, "Why didn't you say anything?" And I responds, "Because I never wanted to be."
Yeah.
and we don't see the dialogue. It's like, oh, we literally have one moment of doubt. Oh, I don't want to be an avatar. I'm scared. What do I? And then he talks himself out of it. Okay, it's okay, Appa. Let's go now.
Dude,
Oh
like he
shit.
even talks himself. Like it made me wonder why Katara and Sokka were there when he was pissed off that Gyato's passed away. Like you had to remember what Gyato was saying to you
Ah,
for
no,
you to
at
come.
that moment, Kitara was reminding me of Wonder Woman in in Zack Snyder.
Hello, no.
Kal-El, no! That's all I was looking like. Oh my God, Gal Gadot, is that you?
And I'm just like, so Katara's just not gonna hug him in this. Like, that's just not what's gonna happen. And I'm saying again, fine, if you want to make it different, don't have grand soliloquy. And they do this at least 4 more times, and I'm like,
Oh,
no. Like, this is what I'm saying is they're
But
missing the point.
there are
Like,
so many important scenes that they've cut out. Like, you know, where
wait,
Grand Grand was
does
speaking.
Ozai show up in this episode?
No, I
Who?
didn't see him. Was I? No.
No.
no. But
No.
Iroh, I
Okay.
see Iroh though.
Okay,
Hey, let's not talk
We
about
need to talk about
Iroh.
Iroh.
I'll get that. Just wanted to say, you
No,
see, the
I'm too
thing,
sad to talk
the,
about Iroh.
the impact, the impact that you have from characters like in the Grand Grand in the first episode. Grand Grand is the one that convinced both Sokka and Aang to Kotaro to go help Aang and to go help
Yes.
Aang get to go fulfill his destiny. And she's the one that says, "Okay, you need to go." And then Kitara then also picks up the B plot and says, "Okay, I could find a waterbending master in the north who can teach me." And
Yes.
Graham goes like, "You need to listen to your brother, okay? When you're gone, when you're away from the lake, you're gonna have to listen to your older brother." And then Sokka's like, "Sokka, listen to me. Be nice to your sister." Those are the
Right.
cute little things that you don't see anymore because whoops, Sokka is now General
We don't want
Sokka
to be
who
too woke. We don't want to be woke.
No, and the other thing is, it's just like the other thing is just like Katara wants to go, but she also understands that she can't. So Grand's reassurance, it also assuages both Katara and Sokka, because
Yeah.
Sokka is
yes,
not Team Aang when Aang first arrives.
yes,
Hmm.
And remember, this is
and
the other thing is that they build up those relationships because Sokka
mm,
gives Aang a lot of respect for giving himself up. But
yes,
we don't get to see that moment sit and those two characters connect like that.
But it
And
yeah,
it's
also
just like,
like it also just seems like these characters are like they are already like the character growths that we see in the anime or in the rather in the animation. It seems like they're already there here. Like Sokka seems like
yeah.
already a competent leader, like from the jump. Like what the
Yeah.
hell?
That's what I was
and then
saying.
what?
Like Sokka's goofiness was missing, and
No,
because the
and like
goofiness
the other thing that
makes his
the other thing, and
intelligence
this is
hit
a nitpick,
harder.
and I'm saying, and this is a nitpick, I guess, maybe, I don't know, I think maybe it is, but I was just like, there's too many males in this village. There's too many grown males
Mm,
roaming around this village.
they're no
Like
teenagers, they're no kids.
some of these kids look like they are Sokka's age, and I'm like,
True.
Hmm.
you're
Like the guy
undercutting the
left in
impact.
charge.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like you're undercutting the impact of soccer being in charge because, like, the whole thing was is that there's this meme and it makes me laugh, and it was like, yo, big, because soccer paints his face, and it was like, soccer was about to the 1v100 Fire Nation soldiers
which is what
just
also
by
pissed me off.
himself.
Like, if you're going to go respect the original content, at least do the face paint. The man is preparing to go to war. Oh no,
But
there's not enough.
I'm saying, like, the thing is, the reason why that moment is so impactful, even though they make it goofy, is that Sokka didn't know how many Fire Nation soldiers were about to come out of that ship, and he's
And
just
he
like,
was.
"This
I
is
am
how
ready
we.
to
I
fight.
guess this is what we're doing."
I guess this is how I die. All of 16 years
Yeah.
old, but you know what? A 16-year-old virgin, but still.
And I'm just saying, like, that's the thing that they miss here is that if you're putting other like dudes who are like about Sokka's age in the village and everything, if you're making the village like have walls and stuff and a gate, you're missing the point here.
Mm,
Like that's what I feel like with this whole thing is like all you're doing is like you're making me miss the original. And again, I
yeah,
don't hate it. I don't hate it. Again, a D is a passing grade, but you had the chance to do a whole lot better.
draw one.
I genuinely think that, I don't know if you guys are aware that at a point, Watchmen, the comic, was considered to be unfilmable.
Yeah, no. Alan Moore famously
Yeah,
said this was not made
genuinely,
for.
I genuinely feel like Avatar: The Last Airbender is unfilmable because
I don't think so.
you cannot capture
No, you
capture some of the things that are in the animation, no matter how hard you try.
no. You see, that's
No,
the
I mean,
problem.
yeah, you
Okay.
can't. But like,
Yeah.
I'm saying,
That's
you can
true.
approximate it enough. Because remember, Shang-Chi, when we get to the end and you get to see Shang-Chi versus his dad, and they're doing that kung fu CGI fight, that was good because they had good
No.
choreography
That's
and they
just
had
a,
like good
that's
effects.
just it's just a small part of what this IP is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things about the Last Airbender, the Avatar: The Last Airbender, that it's sort of like pieces of a puzzle for me.
Yeah.
Take away like a small bit of it, it just loses its flavor completely for me.
And
And
I just wanted to highlight the reason why they said the Watchmen is untranslated
filmable.
unfilmable is because many studios are not willing to go for the topics, raw ham for the topics that the story is trying to communicate. Another one that they did, which kind of worked, but it still didn't describe the story as as it was intended, with like V for Vendetta. If you
Yeah.
look at the original source material and you look at the film, almost night and day, but the overarching story is still there. What they fail at with regards to this thing is they're refusing to give it the time it needs to properly express its story. You can't tell me you can squeeze in first you tell me I'm making a live adaptation of something that had 22 episodes and then squeeze it into eight episodes for the first season. It's not going to work. There's so many things happen.
No, again, I still think the problem is that like, yeah, I get the squeezing thing, but the
Yeah.
problem is that if they were going to set up a narrative, what they needed to end at, right? What they needed to end at, I feel, is the Blue Spirit episode. That way, they would have been able to tell the narrative and whatever, and just have Aang and run off from Zuko and let it be there. But
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
just wanted
saying,
to.
the thing is
Yeah.
with this, but I'm saying the other problem here, I think, the bigger problem here is that the way that they're writing, they need to get to these payoffs so quickly. And it's just like, I don't know why you're rushing to a payoff that you never set up in the first place.
Exactly.
Like, it's okay to take your time just a little bit. Like, just, it's
Uh,
okay to, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No,
it's
there's no
that.
setup.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's what I want. That's why I wanted to
And
say
also, sorry,
for
Tebello, the
yeah,
payoffs are then like that and they're over. So
yeah,
even though you didn't set them up, you have a payoff, but then you
There's no
don't linger on the payoff, so you don't feel the payoff.
yeah. I just wanted to make a live adaptation of something like of this caliber. The truth is, you're going to need more episodes than the original content, not less.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
only way you're gonna get it right. When
Another.
you uh, for an example, there's other contents that people won't even touch, but which will require it to be a 150 episode drama. If you were to make the Iliad into a series, a proper series, a live adaptation, it's going to be like 5 seasons long because so many things happen, and all of these things are integrated in each other point. And the problem is if you're ready to make an adaptation, you need to give it the time it needs for it to pay off properly. There's a lot of words in this book. You can't
Bro,
just and the way it's written, you can't just cut it a few pages.
you know what I was actually thinking about this whole time?
Yeah,
Smallville. It's about a young Clark, bruh. A young Clark. He's not even Superman. That thing is 10 seasons long.
And you don't even see him as Superman, you just see the S at the end.
But the law in there, dog. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that's why something like that worked, is because they took their time to make it work, to establish all the
I
characters.
don't think this is unworkable. I'm the guy who, if you write anything right, you can do anything. I do believe that. But I think the issue here is they're telling this story like people have seen it. And that's what makes me feel like I just need to go back to the original. Because
Yeah.
they like it's like the characters read the story and like the writers are like, yeah, you know the story, but this is just the live action version. So we're not actually going to get into the story. And it's just like taking out Grand soliloquy. It's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. It would have already helped the episode. Making Grand interact more with Sokka and Katara just to encourage them on the journey to help the Avatar instead of giving her a long soliloquy. Easy fix, right? Having
Having
Aang and Katara go to the boat or to see some sort of Fire Nation monument or something. You don't have to have them penguin sledding, but just stuff like that. Having Sokka, fine, if you're going to skip the sexism, having Sokka just be straight, flat out no. Like he's just disregarding Katara's belief hardcore because they didn't do that. But I'm saying having Sokka just be like, I'm not trusting some random kid in the ice. No, like they did some of that, but they didn't push it. They didn't like extend it
mm,
much more. Like they didn't have Sokka distrust Aang from jump type of thing. You
and
get what
then
I'm saying?
to add to the other thing that also pissed me off. Why the hell did Iroh and Aang have a conversation in prison? That is the most that also, you see, now I was about to throw my phone into the South Pole. I was like, what?
I really don't know
Iroh,
what they're trying to do, Iroh, man.
No,
Like,
I look. I think what they were trying to do is, and before somebody says no, Sokka did distrust Aang. No, I'm saying like he wasn't hardcore against it. Katara didn't have to convince him. She literally said 2 and 3 words, and he was like, ah, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like they needed more back and
yeah,
forth. But
but
anyway,
yeah, I was just
getting to Iroh and Aang. Getting to Iroh and Aang. What's this?
got,
We like Avatar fans have always wanted to see more Iroh and Aang, and just more Iroh and the gang. We've all clamored for that. That's been a thing. So the idea of having it happen is not the problem. I think the problem is that they missed with how they portrayed Iroh from Jump.
but
So
not just like
already,
that
no,
interaction happened way too quickly.
I'm
you know
saying
what?
you can say it happened way too quickly. I don't think the placement of the interaction is the problem because I don't see how Iroh wouldn't want to talk to the Avatar. Like especially because now he's more spiritually inclined, because he's also
I
one of the Kama people of the Fire Nation, because he's also trying to convince Zuko that his current path is not the best one.
But Buckmeister,
Him interacting,
you're talking from someone who already saw the series. You're not talking about. You're not
yeah,
talking
but
about someone who's
what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is that with their portrayal of Iroh, right, from Jump, they missed the point of him. If you get what I'm saying, that's why it doesn't work. Iroh
no.
looks so stressed out in this series. He doesn't look like he's spiritual in this series, in this live action adaptation. So already we're not having the things that we need from Iroh to happen, and that's why the interaction seems forced. Because if
It's
Iroh
even
was,
Yeah, no. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. It's even in the way he communicates his dialogue. I didn't expect Marco's performance. No one can expect that, but I'm expecting a voice of reason in an ocean of insanity. And this character didn't bring that for me. I don't know how to explain it. Like
He
when
didn't feel
no,
like
Zuko
a
I know
was
wise old
exactly.
owl. Iroh is a
I'm saying
wise
I
old
know
owl, and he didn't feel like that.
I'm saying, like, I know exactly what you mean. The problem is like the direction they gave this actor is like you must be stressed out. Everything must stress you out. And
I mean
Iroh,
where
he's the least stressed out person ever on
in
that
the
ship.
and that you're a general, so it's like it's as if he's more focused on the rank that he had than the path
Yeah,
that he's
like that's the thing. Like they think they wanted to deviate so much that they were like, you got to take this more seriously as a general. Where Iroh, he didn't.
Yeah, he was
Like,
more
yeah,
focused on the path
he was
I
an instructor. He
one
was an
the path
instructor
that
for
wanna
than the
Zuko.
role that he than the role that he had before. He was more focused on the present than the past. This one seems
at
like
the
he's more
sa-
focused on the past than the present.
at the same time, the Ozai we grew up was basically uncle. We never got from episode one. We never got a whiff that he's an is a wartime general or anything like that.
You mean Iroh?
And
You said Oza. You mean Iroh?
Iroh, I mean, yeah, sorry, Uncle Iroh. And we even the way Zuko refers to Iroh, it's always been uncle. But
Yeah.
uncle, we need to stop this. Uncle, we need to go there. Uncle, and and we don't get that line we got from the first book. You know, a man needs his rest, because he's seeing a high-strung, overly wind-up teenager who's growing into a man, but he does not know what type of man he's going to be because he's carrying all this shame. Here, we're just seeing an ambitious politician of a child. Like, I want my throne. I will do anything for my damn throne. Do you hear me? That's all I'm just seeing in him. And not the shame.
And
Like,
hence I'm saying you didn't see the shame and
Yeah,
that
and I'm
he
saying,
had.
look, and I'm saying, look, we do get hints that Iroh is somewhat of a general in the first episode. They do, like when Zuko's doing his instruction, and then Iroh tells him you need to practice the basics again. He was like, good again, or something like that. You get some
Yeah,
sort of okay. Iroh is
and the,
doing some, you know, he
and
means something.
also we need the scene where you're like your breathing is off. Remember,
Yeah.
remember Prince Zuko. A firebenders power is comes from his breath. None of that.
But
None
I'm
of
saying,
that.
like, that's
Yeah.
the problem. That's the problem with the way that they're portraying Iroh is that they
No.
missed the chill. They missed the fact that Iroh, he's not this dude that's constantly worried about what the Fire Nation needs to be doing or whatever. Or he's not like stressed out all the time. He's the
And then
guy
there's
where it's like,
mm,
oh, the Avatar is there. Let's have some tea. Oh, the Avatar is there. Okay, I want to play some Pai Show. What about the
yeah,
game nights? Like that's what he is. Like, and I
and
think they just missed that with him, and that's why the Aang Iroh interaction it doesn't hit. Because
it,
if we had the Iroh from the show, and I'm not saying that they had to do a Marco performance, but I'm saying if they got the essence of Iroh, that interaction would have been amazing. If you get what I'm saying. Because
because
then
both
because I'm saying Iroh's wisdom plus Aang's inquisitiveness or whatever, he would have maybe made Aang more well-rounded as a character in terms of the situation that's happening right now. Like they could have already started to set up Zuko's redemption within that
yeah.
interaction if they wrote it well. And I feel like that's what this show it has an issue with trying to capture the essence of certain characters. And I'm sorry if you're doing an adaptation, yes, don't follow the source material one to one, but you have to capture the spirit of the thing you're adapting. Otherwise, why adapt it?
Uncle,
Point made.
why
I just
adapt it
also
if
wanted
you're gonna just disregard it?
yeah. I just also wanted to highlight with your explanation about Ozai. The in the original source material, and which is another thing they've changed here, which pissed me off a little. We don't get to see Avatar being the Aang being the Avatar at all. I mean, by that I mean the episode one, the combat sequence ends with Aang ends up being thrown into the ocean, and which triggers him to go into the Avatar state, huge water spout, and then he basically nearly drowns the boat, and that's when Appa lands on the boat and Kitara does her a cute little water bending thing in reverse. You know, these things have a lovely build up that she's learning. She's learning how to improvise all these things, and to show that she is in fact a waterbender. And when they fly off, and then Iroh wakes up and is like, "What the hell is going on?" And Zuko's like, "Shoot him down!" And they both synchronize their firebending to shoot this gigantic fireball that would have knocked down Appa if it landed. And Aang uses his staff to basically deflect it away and knock a huge portion of ice to trap the boat. And then you see that scene shows the buildup of power that we have in Aang, in Iroh, in Zuko, and then which also concludes with Iroh being like, "Ha, the Fire Lord will be pleased to learn that the Avatar is just a young boy." And then Zuko's like, "A young boy managed to do this, uncle." We don't get that. We just got caught by a boat. We got Zuko staring angrily into the sky. We get
the most longest fire I call it a heat-seeking missile of a fireball coin,
Fire Kamehameha.
a fire Kamehameha, which has
And then
which
they do
has-
something
Mea.
with Katara. And I'm saying, and they do something with Katara where I was like, guys, not now.
how did the water
Not now.
how did the water always
the
how did the
water-
water get all the way up there?
Thank you.
Nobody knows, man.
And then
No, I'm
that-
saying, look,
That
if
is
this is
provocative.
Katara in book 2, I'm saying if this is Katara in book 2, I can believe that. But you can't tell me book 1 Katara is bending water like that now. Like, guys, relax. I guess I get what you.
It seems like the character progression that we get in like book 2 or book 3 is already in the first episode of season 1.
Because when I look at season 2, man, in terms of character, I think the characters are just gonna get worse. Is my sound okay, guys? It's raining like crazy out here.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what's raining this
Yeah,
time.
you sound fine.
Okay, because it's like coming down. It's pouring.
Oh no, don't worry. Thor was busy doing his thing at that side as well. It's okay.
Nah,
That's
bro,
how I
it's
do.
Azula, bro. Azula and Oza out there throwing lightning.
Yeah.
Going
So,
through the same thing in Arkham right now.
I just wanted to express my frustration at the particular scene in the end, where that fight just didn't make sense. Him escaping like that, and oh yeah, another problem with the CGI. That's why the CGI here for me also falls flat. Since when does fire bending generate so much smoke? If you look at the fire bending in the original material, it's fire, but it's clean. But then when Zuko shoots his Kamehameha, there's like smoke and everything after it. It's like, what are you combusting?
I guess they just wanted to emphasize the anger that's, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, thank you. Let's be honest and just say something that when something doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Let's not try and explain the unexplainable because that is dumb.
I think also the airbending, they're not doing the versatility enough, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah, because some
Look,
scenes
I'm
straight up
going to
flying.
say this. There's scenes where the actors, like, this is the thing that's saving this for me. I'm saying the actors are acting. Like, I don't want to, like, just dismiss
not-
it as they're.
That okay,
Some
most
of
of
them.
them.
Some of
Yeah.
them. Like, I think the guy who's doing soccer, for what they gave him, he's trying.
He's trying. Even
What
that
they
he's-
No,
gave
yeah,
the
I
guy
have
who's
to give
playing
that
Aang.
because the actors can only
go
be
so far.
great if the writing is also great. Like no,
And
ma-
that thing.
no matter how good you are, if you don't have good writing, there's gonna be a level where you just stop and you can't go further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the for me the CGI falls flat, the action sequences fall flat, the way the story the direction they've taken in this story also
Story
falls flat.
structure.
The story structure falls flat, the setup development payoff it ain't there.
There's
Also, I
minimal
hated the
setup.
fact that they did the column in the sky so that Zuko could see that where Aang was. I
That's what
just
happens in the original content. Big
no. In the original content, the reason why Zuko sees something is because Aang triggers a trap on the ship.
oh yeah, he's Aang's dumbass. There you go.
Yeah, no, he just sees that and he says something's happening and he goes in that general direction. He wasn't in that area.
Yeah. None of the
Sees it and it takes him to that general direction.
Yeah,
And
'cause
then
Zuko-
Aang playing in the ship in the Fire Nation ship, it triggers a distress signal, and that's where how he gets him now.
And then let's not forget the whole escape, him escaping from the prison, going from I was waiting for the scene where going from room to room looking for his stuff, and then he finds Arrow asleep. Like, sorry, not because of course it's too childish, but it's so missing the childishness. I didn't know just how much of the young boy Aang. The childish banter, how much is going to impact the overall story? But from what I've seen now, it's hurting it a lot.
And the
A
thing
lot
is,
more
the
than
actor
anticipated.
can do it. The kid who's playing Aang, he can bring
He
that
is.
childishness. Like
He
he's
is a
trying
child. Look
to.
at him.
No, but I'm saying, and unlike Shyamalan, where they told that
Oh,
kid to just be totally devoid of emotion or whatever.
Emotion.
that's
Yeah, like I'm saying, that kid, like they
Hey,
told him
Bamboshile, Antoine.
that he needs to be like stilted in his delivery, and apparently he's like very fun in the back in the behind the scenes stuff. Like he's more offset off the movie than he is in the movie. So that sucks. But I'm saying with this new kid, he's doing the things that like he's bringing it as much as he can, but the writers are rushing events, and I
anyway.
think that's where
I
like
think
this is hurting a lot of the stuff. I mean
I
I
think we should just
know reiterated this a lot of the time, but like that's I and I
anyway. Let's
do
give
think
our
that in okay, sorry, final thoughts.
let's give our final thoughts and give a score. Perhaps let's give a score for this episode. Does anyone want to give a score out of 10 for this episode? Let's ask the question first.
I'll give it
Anyone?
a 6 out of 10.
6.
I'll give it a 6 as well.
Five.
I
Six. Six. Let
I was
me
gonna
be. Let
give
me
it
be
a.
fair.
So I'm the only one who's bitter here because I was giving it a 4.
I think that's too much, man. That's too.
No.
The actors are trying. The actors are trying. Like that's the
No.
thing. I can
Here's the
see
thing.
that.
In something like this is when you see good direction and good writing, how important it is. Because
No.
a lot of the scenes could have just been saved by just a line taken in, a line not there, or it could have been just in terms of writing, a line taken in, a line not said, or just letting the moment sit in terms of direction. So
Also cutting certain scenes.
and also if you like you guys said, if you're gonna include something, back it up. Like you included Ozai, and then he makes this
Susan.
wild claim, and then sorry, and then he makes this wild claim, and then nothing. Like there's no reaction to it. There is no way you say you're gonna kill a whole nation of people and no one reacts. Even if you had psychos and they were like, yeah, kill him, at least it was a reaction.
Yeah.
But there's no reaction.
Like
So there's just a lot of and the worst part about some of the things that's missing, it's literally most of the things that are missing, it's literally an extra 5 seconds on them.
Yeah.
I think that's what's disappointing. It's literally an extra 5 seconds, and boom. Can you imagine just when he says what he says about killing all the airbenders, and you have say 3 advisors reacting, one going, Fire Nation will rise, the other one going like, what? And the one was like, did this dude just say what he just said? That literally makes the scene so much better, because the scene was already cool, but then when he said that thing, it falls flat. But you just have that reaction,
If you're somebody talking about time, and if you're somebody talking about time constraints, that's why you take out grand soliloquy. Like for example, it wouldn't have been much for them to be like, Aang, a lot has changed in 100 years. Let's go show you this busted up fire ship or whatever. You take that time out from grand soliloquy. That scene that you're talking about with Sozin, you take that time from grand soliloquy. I'm sorry, grand has to have less lines so that you can start focusing on the more impactful characters.
So,
and then you've already eaten up time, like so you've cut that scene like, or you've cut that soliloquy like down 2/3 or whatever. And then that 1/3, instead of having Grand talk long, just have her talk to Sokka and Katara and be like, I think that kid is the Avatar. You should probably go help him out. Here's a scroll. I'll see you. I love you, my grandbabies. And then she's out.
Boom!
Bana, the reason I'm sticking with my score of a 4
is specifically because of those first 20 minutes. The Sozin's Comet should have given those people OP level powers, and you decided to back out. Whether it's because you're trying to be kid friendly, or whether you're not trying to show how powerful that comet was, or you're trying to diminish the impact of the comet because you're telling us that Aang's motivation are no longer held being pushed because he knows the comet is coming. I don't know. I don't care. What he did there was unforgivable, and for that, I cannot give it higher score than 4. Maybe I'll give the other episodes as they go on a better score than that. But this first episode for me left a very bad taste in my mouth. So I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm sticking with my 4. And it's a hill I'm dying on. I may be alone, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I've said everything from my notes. I don't need to say
But
anything else.
just again before we wrap up. Oh no, Mr. Extrodin, you go and then I'll wrap up.
I also think I said everything from my end. Like I said, for me, the actors mostly felt flat. For me, it's not the best pilot. It's not the best first episode of any series. Even if this was not Avatar: The Last Airbender, I wouldn't have been sold to this thing at all, because it was poorly executed for the most part. I think they could have done a better job. So, as it stands, the 6 works just as it is. I think that.
But then what's making you give it a 6 is I'm curious.
Yeah, no. One thing I've realized about our reviews is we don't mention certain things that works. The costume design is good. The casting really looks good. Doesn't look bad. The music is not bad either. You know what I mean? And like I said before,
It's
I think
recycled.
the strategy that Susan. Pardon?
It's recycled.
Yeah,
Feels
but
like
it
the
still
same
works.
music.
Still works.
Yeah, it still works. It's part of the review.
Yeah,
but
they kept it respectful to the original source there, at least. I
Yes.
will give you that. But
but also.
Oh, on that they want to now stick to the source.
Yeah.
and Appa looks cute. You're like, that looks like the fluffy, shaggy
Yeah, that's what
Appa that I'm used to.
That's what I also wanted to say. But I also think that, like you guys were saying about Sokka, I think this is probably the best version of Sokka that we've received so far. It's just that they didn't give him enough time to actually.
If we're doing that, I feel like this is the best version of everybody. If it's a Shyamalan comparison.
Okay, but also, like, I just wanted to say you can tell that he's saying funny lines, but they're not funny. I think that's something that was a bit lacking there. You could hear the punchline, but the delivery was off. So that's something that was also a bit of a.
And that also goes to direction, because as a director, you'd be like, dude, slow down your punchline, speed it up.
Right.
Yeah, punch it
put
up
a pause
here
in
or
somewhere,
Right.
As a director, you need to be able to see this and be like, okay, maybe the line is not really that funny.
Yeah,
begin
no.
with.
I think. people don't
However,
understand.
you as a director need to be like, okay, punch it up there, slow it down, just something like. Because honestly, I'm trying to just think of look at a simple thing. Denzel as Frank Lucas, when Idris Elba comes through and is like, "Hey man, you need to pay the whatever the protection fee or whatever it is," and he just laughs at him and is like, "Ha, my man," but you could see there was more to that smile.
Right.
Yeah, I
You
just
see,
wanted to add.
And that was not a lot of dialogue he did. He literally just said, "My man,"
yeah,
and he smiled, and then the
I just
camera
wanted to highlight,
stayed on
yeah?
him. And now that, like, hey man, that dude said that my man a little too happily. What's going on? So now you're
Yeah.
thinking you are one, and
I
all
just
that
wanted
happened
to
was
highlight,
line
yeah, and
and
execution.
staying on the character.
And that's the director's job. People forget, a director's job. The director is the one who gives the actor a perspective from
from a distance. He's the guy who's got the bird's eye view of the overall performance of the overall production.
Yes.
That's what a director's job is. So when a director goes and says, no, you need to do this at this point, it may feel stupid at that point, but trust me, when it comes out in post, it's going to translate to something awesome. And you need to be able to trust the director you as an performer, you need to trust the director to be able to bring out the final production because you're working together to bring out something.
Right.
Here I see talented cast, but I don't see an overall bird's eye view type of direction that I'm trying to explain. Like,
No,
let's
like I
see-
said earlier, it feels like the actors watch the show.
yeah.
Ah.
The actors watched
It feels
the
like
show.
the actors were watching the show and they were
And-
like enjoying the show, and like because they're young-ish, a lot of them, the show really hit them and impacted them in a way.
And this is
I
so
think the people who are seeing it, who are overseeing this thing, didn't watch the show, and that's why
or
they're
didn't
missing a
care
lot of
enough
this.
for the show to watch it.
Oh, they probably saw it, but they're like, no, you guys can interpret it your way.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
I'm saying the thing is though is that they get to big
if they
moments.
saw
and
it,
they-
then I'm very scared. They
Yeah, no,
they
they-
probably watched a review
like
or
what-
something.
like what I'm saying though is that I mean it depends. If you guys are that mad about it, next week we can do full. I can just do a full spoiler review, and you don't have to watch it. But anyway, what
Oh,
I'm
no,
saying is that you
Listen
will have your
carefully.
own rage.
You will watch. I'm going to watch it episode by episode, and I'm going to go stress out. I'm going to be everybody's biggest problem. You created this thing, and I'm going to be your biggest problem. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to go and say, okay, I want to watch all eight episodes. I will watch them if I have to. I'll watch them and record my reactions on this thing and have a whole less compendium because after 20 minutes of watching the first episode, I felt like screaming my lungs out, and there was no one else, no one I could talk to. That's the problem.
I think you also get why Michael and Brian left.
Yeah.
Let's not do that because they were also involved in Shyamalan. Let's not. I don't want to like come at this thing that hard in that sense.
You have to, Buckmeister, because there's a reason why the creators of this thing and the people that actually had success in the animated project would leave. It's a point of.
But I'm saying they also consulted for Shyamalan.
Even if
That's what I'm saying, because they consulted for Shyamalan and then they saw how it ended up. So they've got experience now, and then they saw like, okay, this is going the same way, so let's not be in that. So they consulted with Shyamalan and they thought it was going to be different, and then they got called for this one, but now they've got the experience of the last time that happened, and they saw similar traits in this one to the old one, and they were like, hey, we're not trying to get involved. The last time we tried this, it was whack. And you guys are making the same things that Shyamalan did, so we wish you well.
I just want to add something. Also, there's a movie called Tetris, right? That movie, the two characters that the movie is based on, like the real guys, were consulted for that movie. They gave their inputs. They told them what they don't want to be in the movie. But did the people, the filmmakers listen? No, they didn't. They included their own things regardless. So I think that even if you do consult these people, sometimes the other people, we're still going to make it our way. So it's like, why consult us then if you're not going to take all our notes? You know
because I get it, they know better than you. So, and they think
my only thing is that I'm saying is that I'm giving the actors the grace here. That's why I don't want to come at this.
I think we all are.
I think we can. I think we can give the actors the grace.
Yeah.
Because wow, the dialogue sometimes you're like, how is anyone supposed to make this work?
I don't know. I really liked Kitara more than anybody actually in this thing, if I'm being honest.
Guys, Viola Davis could be in this, and you think Viola Davis is whack. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Okay. I mean, like I said, if anybody thinks she's too soft and demure, she gets better. But I don't think they presented her well in this first episode because they had nothing to present her well on. She's not fighting with Sokka, and she's not challenging Sokka's sexist stereotypes. So we don't get that spark and fire from her.
you know that thing of sometimes you can see. Let me give an example. You go to a comedy show, the guy bombs on stage and people boo him, but you see something beyond that.
Mm.
Like you see the potential of this person's talent.
You see, like, this guy,
Yeah.
his timing was off, or
And-
his jokes, he needed to add a little bit of this before he did the. Yeah, I see
For
you.
me, despite the misses in the first episode, I could still see potential in her, like in that acting capability. Oh,
To
flip.
be honest, that's how I feel about everybody but Iroh.
Right.
True.
I think Iroh is too big of a miss, and that's the thing where it's a problem. Because the actor didn't watch the show, I can tell you that now. And the writers who are writing the show also did not watch the show. So now it's a mismatch with that character and performance as a whole. His voice is fine. It's just his mannerisms and the way he does his delivery. It's not Iroh. So now it's
Who that is? It's Zuko's other uncle, not
Yeah.
Iroh. Right.
Anyway, I think let's wrap things up. It's getting late for certain people.
I think we
to
wrap
go
things
home.
up.
Yeah, so I think thank you for lasting up until this moment. I don't know how you survived without having an aneurysm.
Oh, is that a new line?
It's called water. It's called water.
No, the way we are raging.
Drink water.
Guys, if you thought we're all
I was
negative
nice.
Oh no, you were nice. I'll admit, but if you thought people were negative Nancy's in the Ahsoka review, you're in for a shocker because boy, yeah, see, I really did not hold back. I was trying to be positive.
That's you trying to be positive?
Oh yeah, shame. No, I was trying in Ahsoka. I was trying. Yeah, yeah. When I saw
You
Sosa's
were
comment,
trying in Ahsoka?
I was trying. I
When?
was trying. Phew. Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed this show. We hope that you also like. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Mr. Extrodin didn't get to introduce himself. He's got his own channel, guys. He's got we feature
Mr.
there a lot.
Extrodin thinks, Mr. Extrodin thinks, Mr. Extrodin talks, Mr. Extrodin universe, Mr. Extrodin
Just-
soda,
Yeah,
Mr. Extrodin techies.
Just type in Mr. Extrodin and then it was Tolazo.
yeah. Mr. Extrodin Techies, Mr. Extrodin Multimedia Empire, Mr. Extrodin
Bobblehead.
Mr. Extrodin Bomberhead, Mr. Extrodin Wheels, that is his car range.
I'm trying to negotiate to get air to brand air as well. So we'll see how that.
Yes. So Mr. Extrodin Oxygen. So yeah, follow me on this stuff. He really does an in-depth deep dive with him and Rob
Sivak,
and what is the name of the lady again? Forget his name now.
Oh, Robsy. So it's Robin. It's Rob and Robin. Isn't like Robin. Yeah.
So he's Batman. So he's Batman,
Yeah.
and he's got
He's got two Robins.
two Robins already.
So, Dick, not Drake.
Oh no! Now that you've mentioned Drake, you're gonna get that. You've got that song back in my head.
Which one?
Hands on your
Okay,
knees.
tangent, guys.
Hands
Let's
on
wrap
your
up.
knees.
Tangent. We're tangenting.
Bananas
song for me.
over, get back to breathe.
Oh Lord.
Let the coochie breathe.
Tebello, take us out of here before we tangent into another hour.
Anyway, I want to become more viral than herpes, and the only way herpes spreads is through mouth to mouth. I want to be as viral as I'm going to be so viral that I'm going to require antibiotics to survive. And the only way, like I said, spread us like a plague, please. Shout out to your friends, your families,
You
anyone
should
else.
let it burn.
Oh, that's Zuko. Let Zuko burn because he is
Yeah.
the Fire Lord. Anyway. We love you guys. See you guys next week. I think we'll do episode 2. I don't know if it's 2 or more. We'll get
We'll do more. We'll have enough time to do more.
Yeah,
I
we'll have
think
enough time
I
to
think
do.
if you guys want to save palpitations, just watch one a week and like we can just do a big review.
Yeah,
One a day.
I think I want to think of reviewing once a week, but it might take a long time.
Yeah,
But who cares?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, but who cares? I mean, look at us. We're still going through Bleach, and it's been how long again
Hey,
we started?
we still have.
I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I don't think you guys are gonna have the patience to do this one episode a week.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Anyway, we love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Sintanda nonke makhaya. Yes, I stole
know?
that from India.
I